Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the switch.tv / the Xisuma. I do not have a cup of tea. I was on autopilot. I was going to make a cup of tea like I'd always do. And then I thought, it's really hot, it's really warm. Do I actually want that? The answer is no. So I got some water. What a great start to the stream. Weird mouth noises. Anyway, that's your hydration reminder, people. Void Wolf, Decana Heaven, Dragon Lily, welcome to the stream. We are going to be building a nether portal. I maybe should have just logged on to the other server first. That might have been a smart idea. Well, I can set a little bit of the tone. We're going to build the portal for the spawn chunks. And welcome to all the other peeps in chat tuning in. Wildlife FIFO, Kaz, Everstaru, Nightfallen, Orange Chocobee, Ape Rover, Riff Raff, Millie XM, Busy 2029, Michael Stickle, Goofball Guinness, Zad Hire, Unsvat, Hannah Michaela, Joey 247, Thomas 4N, Jasper Collins, Sleepy Fox, Theodore Warcog, B000, Declan, Yellowfish, Oddish Abstraction, Johnny Matthew, Star Wars Guy, Vibes Hurley, and Skander, Bloodbane, and like that, I've read all the names! They kept moving up the screen and I got to the bottom. Oh my god, it's like I've been doing this for years. Welcome everyone. Hope you enjoyed hearing your name. Yeah, we gotta build a portal. So, over we go. To the nether. How talented, says B000. Oh, when the great talents of the world. That guy who read those names. Oh, what a talent. What a talent. Yeah, we got to do this, right? It's kind of central-ish. Actually, where is the center of the hub? I think it's like somewhere around here. Oh wait, it takes a while for that one to fade in. Hang on a minute. Does that mean that one over there is like... These ones are closer? Those ones are further away? I just assumed they would be equal distance. Maybe this is the middle of the whole thing. I mean, it's also got that above it, so... I'm going to assume this is actually the middle. Okay. Feel like I've got to raise the standards a little bit for that. Right now, we got to really knock it out the park. Got to knock it out the nether. I've done both my portals over here, look. The eye blossoms, I ended up putting them in flower pots because I wasn't sure if they would block mob spawning or not. So we got some eye blossoms on this side, and over here we got a little pile of redstone, and then these candles like so. I'm probably going to remove my head from this thing. I feel like it's a little too obvious. Also, this one is like lower down. I wonder what it links to. They look awesome, says Aprova. Thank you, thank you.
Quick, there's something has broken through.
Hi.
Oh, look who
Hello?
has arrived. It is an Ozuma. Welcome.
Hey.
From the nether.
Hello, Mr. Ozuma. Welcome.
Hi, what's going on? I just walked through a portal, and all of a sudden there's all this... What's this?
You've just installed it. This is my new portal that False has helped me install today.
Oh, it hasn't got a sign on it already. He doesn't know.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I literally just noticed that it would lower down, and I think it caught my attention because it was new, and
Oh, yes.
I was curious.
Yeah. Sorry,
Wow.
Yes.
yeah, I thought you maybe knew we were here, but
I had no
realised-
clue.
Yeah.
I've been bamboozled, is how I feel. Well,
welcome.
I know what you guys are up to. You're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've just been, like, trying to work out this room.
I like this room.
I don't know why there's shulker boxes
Yeah,
up
there's
here.
there's
This is False
shulker
Symmetry's
boxes
fault. There we go. Got rid of that nonsense.
Guys, quote it. I like this room.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I know what you mean though. Like it needs a little something special.
Yeah.
Maybe like a texture you don't normally see, like something with armor stands or like a mob that lives in this area. You know, like bring a little bit of that not so obviousness. That's what I've noticed
That's a
lots
cool
of hermits
idea.
do. You know, to add a little sparkle is to
Yeah.
Bring something unexpected into the mix. Yo,
Ooh, maybe when my gallery's done, I could put one of the paintings on this wall. That could be pretty cool.
that would be sick. I was just thinking, what about a copper golem hanging out in here?
Oh, yeah, hanging from the
That's a
ceiling.
cool idea.
It can
like
be done.
that.
It can. Wait a minute.
Whoa, I paid
Why
for
is
mine.
my inventory
You're
completely
getting a
full?
freebie.
False.
Well, mine's empty. I think you must have picked some stuff.
My inventory is full of shulker boxes.
Inventory management, the game.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to get a pumpkin for you,
Okay.
so I can give you one to trial. But then
Oh, there
it's
we go.
never easy, is it? Because now I got to make shears. So like, watch the boxes expand. Now I need shears.
Okay, so now you got to make shears.
Then I
so
need
now
to
you
get you an
found the
item
iron.
frame.
Then we need an item frame. Next box.
Oh god.
Excellent. Then you need a crafting table.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Okay, there we go. Now the magic. Ozuma waves his magic wand and...
I have to guess the number.
Bling. Ooh.
Oh, it's wrong. It's so wrong. Oh, it's definitely... What's that? The scar hat?
Ooh.
Oh my god, that's so fancy.
I don't think that's the golem, Zuma.
No, it's not, is it? Okay.
TCG trophy, I'll have that.
You gotta earn that. I think maybe I'm overshooting. Maybe these are older. How long ago was it?
What, like the golem?
Yeah, that's what it's like when you roll through all the different numbers. It's like going back in time. So if
Yeah.
I do like the early ones... Oh my god, I'm just going to use the other command. So have you seen the new dialogues system that's been added to the game?
Nope.
So with it, in the next update, we can make a little menu. Like you open it up and like all your
Yeah.
questions can just be answered there.
Oh, wow. Like an AI type system.
No AI, fortunately. Otherwise, we'd be hoovering up the planet's resources just to
Oh, yes,
generate
true.
an answer, you know?
Sounds very much like a Ren's Law, though, to be honest.
What, having like some sort of an AI? Like Rosie could be the AI.
Wow.
That is,
Answering
yeah,
all
no,
the
that
questions.
That's
is
for poor Rosie.
that is a good fit.
By the way, X, I'm going to take you to the gallery in a minute, okay?
Okay, yeah. I was
have a
just
question for you.
thinking the time it's taken me, like I could have just flown over there and flown back.
True. You do have an incredible assortment of goods, though, in and amongst these.
It's very organized.
Just
isn't
these
it?
3 shulker boxes have so many things.
I could make a business here, couldn't I?
I like how you put egg under utilities.
It is a very useful item, you know.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to want an omelette.
Why is there only 2 types of copper?
Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, false?
Nothing.
Hmm.
So the way that the horizontal system works is that, like...
I'm doing it for you, look.
No, but this is the wrong place, though.
What?
This
This
is like... This is... Look, it's not the square copper
does
square.
It not go like that?
No, it goes in shulker boxes underneath here.
Well, bro, then you bring the shock boxes afterwards. You got to put the stuff in there first to work out when you need a shock box because you've got too much of it.
Yeah, true.
Right, I'm going to fly. Time
Right.
me. Time me. I
Okay.
bet it's going to be so much shorter. I mean, I got 905 was on my screen chat, so like we can literally time this. Beautiful balloons. How you doing, chat? Sorry, that totally bamboozled me. It was just like, I'm in streamer mode, then it's like, friends, hello. We got to turn off mini HUD. And then we got to go to the right place. Vinot says 120 to 123. You spotted it, my dude. Well done. Well done. I'm just going to grab one of each. Then it's like properly renamed and stuff as well. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that. Cookie X Kitty. Hello again. Hello again. We had Heart Game over the noise in the air. 20 months. 20 months already. Hope things have been well for you and your trip was a fun one. Good to have you back. Thank you, Heart Gamer. It was an amazing, life-changing journey. And I want to travel the world more. I loved it. The world is a big place. Can't go everywhere. You can go some places though. Right. Should keep a list of them, says Deb. If you were referring to the list that I was looking at, like, the list was a good idea until we added about 10 things to it, and then it kind of got chaotic. That's the problem. Yeah, we got Blue Raven here, 768. The one, the only. For 29 months. So close to 30. Can't believe another month has passed already. Things have been super chaotic. Also, leaving for vacation. Super spending my time here with this wonderful community. Will try to catch streams while I'm away. Hey, if you're going on vacation, like, try to turn off the devices. That's my tip. Get the devices out of your head. Like, turn off, dial out, get in touch with the real world. Screw the internet, you know? I'm literally telling you not to watch my stream. I know, but hey, you'll enjoy your vacation more, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna start stockpiling
You
them
need
over
stuff
here.
in there.
It's true.
Ozuma.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Wait, why is it on my head?
Ooh.
Oh my god, what's
Oh
going
my
on?
good lord. That is so many of these things.
You got choices.
Okay.
Choices.
Oh, this is so
my
cool,
goodness.
dude. Yeah, this is great.
Put it here. You shall not pass. Oh, sorry.
It's Rosie. It's actually
Oh.
really perfect for the base. It's so
It
good.
might be. But you haven't
I
got
love it,
one
Xisuma.
yet. Oh my goodness.
I don't have one yet. This is actually so cool. I love it.
Yeah, it'll look really,
Ridiculous.
really like at home in here, won't it?
Yeah, maybe it's like chilling in the
Wait.
dark corner somewhere.
Where's wood?
Where's Wood? Where's Waldo?
Oh, it's
Oh my god, that's like a little Where's Wally face in your storage room is just the ultimate joke right there.
Yeah, check it out, right? Like you put the little golem over there in the corner. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's
Oh,
chilling.
you can also do the thing with the
yeah, the invisible
commands
thingy?
and the letters and the numbers and bam.
Nice.
All right, you ready for a totally random question?
Okay, hit me.
Y'all are both 90s kids, right? False, you're a bit younger than us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you remember a TV show called Supermarket Sweep?
Yes.
Yes.
Who was the host?
Who was the
Oh.
host?
Oh wait. It almost came to me. Was it? It's not Dave, is it?
Oh, you're on the
Is it-
right track.
Dave something.
You got the whiff.
something.
It's not a Dave, but you got the whiff of it.
Oh wait, I can picture him. Wait. Oh,
Isn't
they've
it?
already
Wait,
ruined
is
it
it?
to me.
Wasn't it the
They've
little
ruined it
fella
for me
from
in the
Top
chat.
Gear?
They've ruined
I
it. No.
don't think he was in Top Gear, no.
I got the answer from the chat. They spoiled it for me.
Oh,
I know who it is.
you can say.
It's Dale Winton.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't thought about that name in literally since whenever that was on.
Which was a very long time ago.
Did he do anything else? I feel bad for him now. Was it just Supermarket Sweep?
I don't know.
What a thing to be known for, though.
Supermarket Sweep was
I'd be
awesome.
happy with that.
I
was-
remember
that
enjoying
was
it
good
as a
times.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to do it, is it right? You thought, oh, when I become an adult, I can just run around the supermarket with
Yeah.
my trolley and then grab stuff.
And you
chuck
just
it in,
talk
but-
about it with your siblings for ages. Be like, oh, these kids are so dumb. If it was me, I would go straight to the Sega Mega Drive section and just take all the
Exactly.
games.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't
What?
kids though. It was adults playing it, which was just like,
Yeah.
let the kids do it, you know.
Yeah, and then they go get a whole bunch of bananas. And it's like, come on, guys. Come
But
on.
no, you had the
Don't
blow
get the
up,
perishables.
Like, did you get extra points for blow up bananas or random?
They did have to get
stuff?
blow
Oh,
up
they
objects,
did have
didn't
things
they?
like
I
that,
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like random beach balls and
Beach inflatables.
Yeah, they basically had quests, right? They,
Inflatables, yeah.
they had quests to complete, if I remember correctly. They had to go find specific things.
All
This
right.
is funny,
And along
'cause
the way,
Ren and
get
I were
stuff.
talking about like Antiques Roadshow and like
Oh.
Bargain Hunt yesterday.
Antiques Roadshow's still going though, right?
Yeah, absolute classic. What a banger.
Yeah, I think it might be.
So good.
It's
It-
funny that out of all of them, that's the one that survived.
If the Antiques Roadshow ever came to my town, I would 100% go to the filming and be in the crowd.
Oh, I thought
100%.
you were gonna take something.
No, I don't have
Take-
any.
take
I don't
the
have
turquoise
anything.
Plates.
I don't have anything old enough to sell at Antiques
Ooh.
Roadshow.
No, I don't think
You
I
got me
do.
wondering now if there's anything
No, I
I
think that's
have
worth
that might be an
anything
antique. Like, do old
Yeah.
vinyls count?
Yes.
I got a few old vinyls.
Maybe.
So maybe one
But
of those.
the thing is, they have to be worth something, right? It's not one of those things
Yeah.
where you can just take anything old. It has to be maybe worth something.
Worth something.
Antique
to someone.
Roadshow
Oh,
is
do you know what I got? I got a box full of 90s video game boxes. Right? Some
Oh.
people collect that stuff.
interesting.
They do, yeah.
So some
It
people
might
it's
be.
vintage.
It might be vintage enough now to actually start gathering some good value. That's pretty awesome, X. You should hold on to those. It's really cool.
Yeah, I might sell them if I find a buyer. You know, if there's some money to be made there, because they don't really mean much to me anymore. You know, it's like I got
Yeah.
some Pokemon cards, like I got a shiny Charizard and stuff, but I can't bear to part
Oh
with
my
it.
good lord, Azuma, we need to get
Bring
those
out the
scanned in,
other
brother.
habits.
I'm gonna send you some names. I'm gonna send you an app for your phone that you use to scan the cards.
Oh.
Please scan the cards
I
and
will.
collate
Is
your
there an app like
collection.
that?
I will.
Please, dude.
I
Yeah,
need to
that
do
sounds
that with
fun.
my old ones.
But I
Work
don't
out
want
what
to
you
sell
got.
them. I really like them.
No, you don't sell them, but you just figure out what you got. You know,
True, yeah.
you might need to insure those bad boys, dude. You might have something big there.
Sure.
I'm not
True.
even joking. I'm not
True.
joking, dude.
No,
I'm not joking.
that is yeah.
I have one card that I used to think was super rare until I found out how you got it. So it's like a double-sided shiny Ancient Mew card. I've got like 2 of them. Turns out they gave them away at the Minecraft movie. If you brought a ticket,
right.
you got that card. Like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
special.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
It looks super special.
It might not be special now, but it might be special in 20 years because it was a limited
True.
edition
Yeah,
release.
when people start like using them for whatever and ripping them and
Yeah,
they just they start becoming more rare. They go in the bin, whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I guess, the further time goes along, they do become rarer, so...
Yeah.
Hey, and I don't want to get rid of them, so like if I hold on to them and one day I might
You
need
hold on to
that,
them, dude.
Yeah.
Frame them one day.
I've
That's
got
a nice
my unvaluable Pokemon cards still. You never know. They might become valuable.
You never
right?
know.
Right,
You
guys?
never know.
I need to frame my
never know.
TCG cards. By TCG, I obviously mean Hermitcraft TCG, right?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I need to
I'm
frame
very
season
jealous
2.
of
I haven't done
False's framed cards. They're
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
think I remember someone sharing a picture, and I was like, "Damn, that's really good. I've got to do that."
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
you,
it's
False.
False.
But I'm missing a few of the commons to make the season 2 one
Oh,
because I didn't.
I got
open
you,
the-
False. I opened so many to make my decks for the Gamers Outreach event.
Yeah,
Just
but
tell me what you're missing.
I also opened a lot, but like I think I'm still running out. Like maybe 3 or so to make like a full set of something.
I
got you.
haven't opened my
I've got
season
the-
2
I've got
stuff.
loads.
I got loads of season 1 things, and I showed them to like my nephew and my niece, and they just weren't interested. And it's like, well, now I've got no one to play with. So
Yeah, but when they're worth something in like 10 million years, then then they might be interested. You know?
Exactly.
10 million years.
10
Well, I mean,
million years.
I didn't want to put a year on it.
Hermitcraft's going to last 10
It'll
million
be, like, worth
years.
0.
Oh dear.
Nothing. No.
We'll be in a history book one day, somewhere. It's going to be great.
It'll be a history book one day.
So who reads it? Who reads that
Exactly.
book, Ren? Like how
I
many
don't
how
know.
many
Books
movies
anymore.
from
There's
from the
AI,
year
you're gonna be AI
19?
TCG cards.
How many movies have you
1900s,
watched
yeah.
from the like from the early 1900s in the last year?
0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's sad,
Yeah.
but that's the way things go.
it is sad.
However, if you want to watch a banger on Wikipedia, Delance de Lune,
Yeah.
you must check out that movie. Jack, correct me if I'm
Delance
getting
de
it wrong.
Lune.
Yeah, Delance de Lune. I think I'm saying it wrong.
Delance de Lune.
It's like one of the first ever movies to pioneer special effects, and it is just a delight to watch what they came up with. It's so
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, is
I'd
it
love to
Claire
watch
de
that.
Lune?
Claire de Lune is an amazing song by Debussy, who's one of my favorite composers. You should also go check out Claire de Lune.
Sure, there was a movie called that. Wasn't there recently? Maybe not.
I'm gonna
Oh
search
no,
up.
no, it's just ignore me.
Azima, I have a question for you.
Yes.
It's
Or
me.
it's more of a bug report.
Okay. Bug report. Throw it my way. Oh yeah, it's Le Voyage dans la Lune.
Le Voyage dans la Lune.
Oh,
aka
The
A
Voyage
Trip to the Moon. Yeah, you might
Is it not
recognise
the
the
it.
Man
Moon.
in the Moon? Wait,
Oh, cool.
because I watched that last year.
Was it from like 1920?
No, it wasn't the main. It was the Voyage to the Moon. Yeah. 1902. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched that last year.
Nice. Was it
Oh,
good?
Similar-
Literally,
similar
that was
thing.
my original bit, wasn't it? Like, how many movies have you watched from that decade? You watched one. Awesome. Do you watch any
Yeah,
other
we
like
did
really
well.
old school movies?
No, but that one just popped up as part of like a cinema thing they did. To do with,
Okay, cool.
French cinema and Minecraft.
In season 7, I watched a bunch of the old westerns, which
Oh,
were
Trip to the
really,
Moon,
really
yeah,
cool.
yes.
Nice. Have you seen what's it called? Dang it, it's got these prequels, 1923 and 1883. The Yellowstone.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, 1883, that's one of my favorite like TV shows now.
Beautiful landscapes and cinematography. It's so good.
Yeah, and the dialogue, the way she like narrates
Yeah.
the show, it's like poetic. It's so good.
There's some good stuff coming out in and amongst all the slop.
Yeah,
It's
like
good
have you
stuff.
been watching Last of Us Part 2?
I don't
No,
think I finished part 1. Which is
yeah,
sad.
I never actually started it.
Oh, okay.
It's on my list,
need
but I
to,
never got
just-
to it.
I never got stuck to it.
Interesting. Did you
But,
play the games?
Nope.
I think I watched someone play the games instead.
I played the game and
just
was
didn't have the
so
time.
bad at it on easy mode. I was like, I'm pathetic. I'm pathetic. You have to aim and shoot with a controller, and I just die every time. I can't even get a shot off.
Yeah, I'm not a controller person.
Oh, it's
Never
not
have
too
been.
bad then.
No,
think
I'm
I
really
heard that, like-
enjoying it. I'm enjoying part 2.
I mean, it never goes as well as the first part, though, right? When you make it something like this that does really well.
Yeah.
You
I
just
think if
can't
they
live up to
land
the
it-
first part.
If they land
Yeah.
it, they can make it great. But yeah, like think about a show like Breaking Bad. Like it kind of has a slow start, and then it gets really good in seasons like 3, 4, and
I mean, you
5.
say that, but the pilot's like, great.
It is.
The pilot's
it is.
probably
But
it's probably one of the best episode 1s ever made.
Right?
true.
It really,
It's
really
so
gets
good.
you. Like,
I feel
yeah,
like it's better once you know where it's going. Like if you imagine just watching season 1 and 2 and like not knowing what's coming after it, like it's not as fast paced as like the end of the show.
I guess not.
No,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
was
like-
I
yeah,
was
no, it's
hooked
not super
throughout though.
fast-paced.
But
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
loved was
yeah,
the cinematography and the music. Also, it was unbelievable, and the foreshadowing that the Gilligan brothers did is just—it's so glorious.
Yeah. Isn't
was very
isn't
well
he working on
produced show.
something new? Because he's finished doing Better Call Saul, and I'm sure it was on International Movie Database. Like, and it's like, oh, there's a new something coming out.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe not.
old
I don't
Vince
know.
Gilligan. That's his name, right?
It's like I stopped
I'll look
watching
it up.
Better Call Saul.
Really?
But the thing is, I don't even know when it was that I just stopped watching, so I don't know how to catch
Oh,
up.
right,
'cause I don't know
yeah.
where I stopped.
It does kind of dip like
Like, what
mid-season, but
happened?
then it
Yeah.
ramps up really nicely. But the acting
That's
in Better
good.
Call Saul is so great, and what's her name is so good. Oh, I always forget her name, but she's so good in that
The
show.
lawyer.
You know the
Yeah,
his
really
partner.
good character.
She's incredible.
Dude, he made the X-Files.
Who? Vince Gilligan?
Yeah.
Vaughn Gilligan? Is it Vince or Vaughn? Can never remember.
Vince.
Vincent.
Oh, here's
Vincent
what it
No,
is.
just Vince.
He was given an Apple TV show, right? And it isn't named yet, but he's working on a TV show with Apple.
Oh, cool.
So now you got to sign up for that platform.
All right, dude. That's the problem with it all.
Yep.
Like, why is everything just spread? Like, you just gotta have all the subscriptions.
I mean, I signed up to Apple
I
TV
hate
to watch
subscriptions.
what's Severance, and I
Yep.
just blasted it in a couple days and then unsubscribed.
True.
That's what I
That-
did
that
as
was-
well.
that was
Get
worth
that
it,
free
though.
trial.
That was worth $5 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
that
no,
now
Severance-
with
yeah, Severance is totally worth it.
with Last of Us. I'm just signing up for 1 month and then I'm going to cancel.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah,
If you can keep track of it all, though, right? Like,
dude, Google Calendar.
Dude, yeah, you put an alarm on your phone, it goes off when you like
Yeah,
a few days before or something.
Google
Yeah.
Calendar your subscriptions.
I
Dude,
do.
the most adult
I do
thing I've ever
everything
heard
on
in my
it.
life.
Minus myself in there. I do,
Dude,
yeah,
if
as well.
you took away Google Calendar, like I would get up in the morning and not know what to do with my life.
Dude, I'm kind of the same. To be
Nice.
honest.
It does feel a little bit like you know, like if you think of like your parents and grandparents and their generation. I guess they had like notepad and pen and stuff, and they had actual physical
Yeah, they
calendars.
did the same. My mum had a diary that she used to like look after her life.
It makes me feel like like I'm not using my memory as much, but I guess it's probably not too different from writing stuff down.
Yeah, but then you have that. You don't have the anxiety of like worrying if you've missed something.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very nice.
because you're like, oh, was I like? Because sometimes I have a day where I'm like, oh, it's Thursday. I swear there was something I was meant to be doing, and then I look at my calendar. I'm like, okay, well, nothing's in the calendar. It probably is nothing, you know.
Do you ever put anything in and then like a few days later it's not there but you remember it?
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened at some point. Yeah.
It happened to me just the other day. I 100% remember putting this thing in, and I remembered it this morning. I was like, oh yeah, I've got to do that thing. And I looked at my phone, it wasn't in my calendar, and I was like, Google, you need to be reliable.
You know what happens?
What if I'd forgotten?
It's happened a couple times where it goes into a different, like, you know how you have different calendars on the left-hand side, like in the,
Yes,
you can set it to a different calendar. It goes into one of those. You got to check that. It's happened a couple times recently.
Yeah, that might be where it went.
I know.
That might be where it went. Because yeah, it links all your emails together and then just puts different things on them. Yeah, also, when you buy gig tickets, like it puts the gig into your calendar for you, which is great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the add to calendar button's quite handy.
A bunch of that stuff happens now. I remember when I went to renew my passport, like that just got added into my calendar by something. I guess it was the
That'll be
the appointment
Gmail,
booking
probably.
thing, or Gmail, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed like when you open an email from Amazon, it like puts the key information at the top now. It's like, this is arriving today. So you don't have to read the whole email. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Dude, we're getting so lazy. When Neuralink
Technology,
arrives, you're not even going to open Gmail. It's just going to be in your head.
Yeah. I'm hoping to have shuffled off this mortal coil by then.
Could do the extra storage space, to be honest. In my brain, there's just like a little chip that just adds the extra storage for things like that. That'd be nice.
That would be
Just
cool.
plug it in your ear. It's like extra RAM.
It's got a USB stick in your ear.
I mean, I'm not fully against it, you know, but I'm not volunteering.
Do you guys ever
Yeah, I'm
do
not
like
gonna be
a?
the first, that's for sure.
Do you ever do like a detox, like no phones day or anything like that?
I try to on Sundays.
I don't personally do it, but when I'm like gardening or something, I just like put the phone indoors and just like leave it. And
Yeah.
That's nice.
as long as I'm doing something else that's not a screen, then I'm technically detoxing.
I've started a habit of leaving my phone downstairs when I go to bed, so it's not the first thing that I look at in the morning.
Dude, I can't
Great
do
idea.
that. I'm so worried that someone will call me or need me or
Has
something.
anyone ever called you in the middle of the night ever in your whole life?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well. Sure. Well, yeah, sure then, fine. I don't know what to tell you.
But plus last year I could look at my cameras and see there was a fire going on, so I could, go
Whoa.
and sort that out.
Whoa! Say
It
what?
was quite handy.
Just checking the phone. Oh, there's a fire. There's a blazing fire.
There's a fire.
Better go
it was
put
in my
that out.
garden. It was, at midnight. Yeah.
Dude, what was that
I
like?
guess that's
Some
true, yeah.
troublesome teens causing a
No, it
ruckus?
was my
or-
neighbour. Like, it left coal in the shed that was hot from the day, and
Oh.
a fire happened, and there I am with my flipping hose out there trying to put it out.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, just
That is
casually.
crazy.
Just,
Fire
yeah.
lady false on the job. Oh.
Yeah.
The eye roll
time of
false
day,
lore
by
the way.
is wild, Ozuma. Wild eye
That's-
roll lore.
Crazy though that coal. So like, they have coal
Well, it
for
stays
some
hot.
reason.
Well, they had a barbecue during the day.
Oh,
and then I
right,
think
a
he'd,
barbecue.
like, put the hot coals in
Oh,
the
they didn't put
shed,
the coals out properly.
Yeah.
I see. I was thinking like a
And the
coal
thing-
shed,
there was-
which no one has anymore, but I saw them when I was a kid.
like a proper like a wooden like garden shed. But the thing is, the wooden garden shed also had a chest freezer in it, I think, or like a freezer of some kind, so like electrical. So then it was like, I guess, sort of like an electrical fire too. So
Jeez,
Wow.
that is
that kind of
terrifying.
stuff you're not putting out, basically.
And I remember you telling me there was quite a strong wind that night also, right?
No, there was no wind,
Oh,
which was really weird because I almost like there's always wind. Like I always noticed there's there's always been quite a strong
Yeah.
wind the last couple of days while I've lived here at least. But that night it
Well-
was kind of freaky afterwards. So I was just like,
Well, I
dude,
guess
it's so
that's kind of
calm out
fortunate.
Yeah,
here.
that's fortunate.
yeah. That's very
It was,
fortunate.
yeah, it was, yeah.
Did you guys see the strawberry moon last night? That was pretty
I
cool.
got a message about it, but I didn't
what
remember
now?
to look.
The strawberry
Wait.
moon. The moon.
Dang, I
Why do
missed
people
that.
name is it just the moon went a bit red?
Yeah, blood
Yeah.
moon.
And they call it a
Wait,
strawberry moon?
is it
It's a
just a
blood
blood
moon.
moon, but like been renamed PG?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, if you'd have told me it was a blood moon, I would have been out there howling.
We just
Oh.
call it the blood moon.
Oh no.
Oh, woo.
Wolf Street will
Yeah.
never know now. Or Wolf Street.
Uh,
Oh.
So,
What about a Wolf Street mean?
Ozuma, I have a bug report.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes,
yeah,
I remember.
So I went end busting the other day,
Uh huh.
and I noticed that I was only getting between 0 and 1 shulker shoal per shulker kill.
Yes, that is because we
Yes.
removed the data pack. It was something we talked about in a meeting. It was like, hey, we got the farm. Should we not do the double shells thing anymore? I was like, okay, and then I removed it.
Behind the
Right.
scenes, guys. Behind the scenes.
So now you're experiencing normal vanilla shulker. Why were you out there to get shulker boxes?
Yes.
Ren, just punch me. Just be like, oi.
Wait.
Oi,
Does
I
that
need a
work?
No.
He
shulker
drops
box.
shulker boxes. You have to punch him.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Zuma now
The
drops
thing is,
them,
though,
Ren.
this logic doesn't make any sense. Because end busting is still fun, and it's still something that I want to do.
Fair enough. If you were there to have fun, I got no problem with it.
But like, I'm just trying to understand the logic of changing it. Okay, so what if there's a farm? Like, so what?
Hey, I just couldn't be bothered to. I was like, okay, that's what we want to do. You know.
No, this doesn't make any sense at all, because okay, if the logic is it shouldn't be 2 because the farm is OP, then the farm is an infinite generating farm anyway. It doesn't matter if it's 0 to 1 or 2 drops, right? It actually makes no difference. It's an infinitely generating farm.
I happen to agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense to change it to me, but I
it's like a
was just
Bitcoin.
like, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I'll
Okay,
change
fine,
it.
whatever. Okay, well,
Oh.
I'll kick up a fuss in the next meeting about it,
Okay,
because
let's
I enjoy end busting.
the-
But you know what I don't enjoy? I don't enjoy end busting and getting 0 to 1 shulker shells per shulker. That's what I don't enjoy. It's actually like painful.
Let's derail.
And I'm so sorry to you, the normal Minecraft players, that you have to experience that. It's horrible.
Let's derail today's meeting by dedicating the entire thing to discussing how many drops the shulker should make.
Oh,
I
wait, there's
agree.
a meeting. I
I
forgot
agree.
about that. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
reminded me.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it's
I don't think
stream
it's on
and
my
then
calendar.
meeting.
Oh, God.
Stream and then meeting.
No,
Busy
it's literally
day.
Not, it's not
Busy,
in my
busy
meeting.
day.
I'm adding it to my calendar.
Huh.
God,
It's not already in your calendar? Every
They
week
just
it's
told
not
me
in the
no.
calendar.
Dude, I used to have it on a schedule, but then we stopped doing it every week, and so
It's
I'm like,
Thursday, false.
It's every
I
other
know
week
it.
at the moment, yeah.
It's every other week. But
Exactly.
wait, so that means it's not this week because you had one last week.
no, you didn't have one last
No,
week.
we didn't have one last
You-
week.
We did.
That was a private meeting between
We
like
did
5
have
of
one.
us.
Yo, am
No, we
I-
didn't. You were
I've
streaming.
been looking forward to this meeting all day. That's because I always look forward to Hermitcraft meetings, so.
Aww.
Oh
I'm
my
looking
god,
forward to
it's
meeting
next
also,
week.
actually. Is it next
Oh
week?
my god.
Oh, is it not? Is it not this
It
week?
is actually meant to be next week, yeah.
Oh my
Okay, that
days.
means I can stream tonight. Yay!
No, because what will happen is another meeting will happen and you won't be there 'cause you'll be streaming.
I wish I'd have known that sooner today. Oh well.
Wait, I think we should ask. Is there a meeting?
Viewers of
Because-
False and Azuma's streams. We are professional
Because no one
adults,
turned
by
up
the way.
last week,
Like,
to
we
be honest.
definitely are very organized.
That's a good point.
as
It's
a
worth
Hermitcraft
asking.
group.
Like,
We are 100% organized. We always know exactly what's going on at all times. In case you didn't know, it's a very professional group.
oh
You
boy.
were so professional. I don't know what you're on about. I am the most professional person you've ever met.
Well,
We're such a good example of how to do things.
I mean, I know how soup pockets work, so yeah.
that is
Soup
true.
Pocket.
False knows all about soup pockets.
A
Right.
pocket for soup?
Have you ever bought a suit?
A
Azuma?
suit pocket? Oh my god, I thought you were on about soup. Well, Pete,
No, yeah, I know, yeah.
I
You'd like to talk
own
about
a
soup, I'm
suit.
sure.
When I was young,
Suit.
I had this idea in my head that wearing a suit was like selling out. And so I avoided wearing a suit for so many years. It was stupid. And then I became older and I was like, that is such a dumb idea. Like, why am I so against wearing a suit? And then I got one and I looked dapper. So, you know.
There you
I
go.
have a
One
suit.
does look
Have
dapper in a
nice
suit.
looking
I
Do you
love
have
wearing a
do you
suit.
have
Yeah.
do you have pockets in your suit?
I do. They're kind of like not very good pockets, if that makes sense. They're there. It's kind of like
yeah.
evolution, where you got a tailbone but you don't have a tail. It's like they are pockets, but they're not really pockets.
So explain why they aren't really put like. Can you put
Because
anything in it?
you could put like a credit card size object in there, and then they would probably fall out again.
Could you put a Game
Okay.
Boy in there?
But it
I
has,
think
but
that
you
would
can actually
not
use
fit.
the pockets.
Bro, what kind of
You can
suit?
actually
Is
use
this
those
a clown
pockets, right?
suit or something? What kind of pockets? What are you talking about? Pockets? You can't even put like bigger than a credit card in the pockets.
I don't know.
Not
That's
in
just the
women's
way they
suit.
do them.
They don't do pockets.
Is that like a tuxedo? Like a tuxedo
No, it's
suit?
not a tux. Like tux is like a level. Like that's like an evolution, isn't it? Like a Pokemon.
Yeah,
That's like going to that
exactly.
next
That's like a
level.
level up
True.
suit.
Next level of suit.
Yeah, dude, when do you wear a tux? I don't know.
I do not. I do not
Weddings?
have a tux. But
No,
yeah, that's a
when
good
do-
point, isn't it?
Do people wear still weddings to weddings though?
It depends. Like some weddings are like very formal, right? Depends how formal the wedding is. I think most weddings are more casual now, casual smart. But some
Yeah,
weddings are
I've-
like,
The
you know.
majority of weddings
Anyway.
I've been to are like, yeah, casual smart. Not having to wear
Ren,
a
did you
suit.
Yeah.
hear that? The pockets actually work though.
Yeah. I bought a suit once, Xisuma, where like the pockets were sewn shut, but I didn't realize until I went to the event that I wore the suit for. And then I was fidgeting, like trying to put my hands in my pockets, but the stupid pockets were sewn shut.
Yo,
And then False
why
was
were
telling me
they
yesterday
sewn
that this is
shut?
normal. False told me this is normal. This is how suits are sold. Like this, you're supposed to
Someone's
rip the
coming
pockets
to tell
open.
you. We're gonna ask
something.
right away
Someone's
when
there.
he finds his way
It's
in.
Wells night.
Ren,
Hello.
I think your base is
Use your
confusing.
wings.
Okay,
Hi.
there you go.
Hello.
I was just trying to find which floor was the correct floor. Like,
There's
I
only
could
two.
read names.
Welcome.
Greetings. Welcome.
Hello.
Wells,
Friends,
do you
crazy
own a
story.
suit?
I own a couple.
How are the
I don't
pockets?
know
Do you
that
have
any of them
pockets?
actually fit me anymore, but I definitely own a few.
Does your
How-
suit have
how are the
pockets, Mr.
Yeah,
Wells?
yeah.
One of them does. I mean, they all have like pockets in
Only
the
one.
jackets.
Yeah.
But I've got one that like the pants when they tailored it, they like sewed the pockets shut.
Yo,
see-
what?
And what did you do
You
with
see.
the pockets?
And what?
And what did you do
Think-
with the pockets
I
that were sewn shut?
left them.
Oh. Right, Ren and Wells, you can both leave. Goodbye.
Well, the other two they did
Red,
not. sew
you got to leave your own
the
base.
pockets shut.
I'm evicted.
Oh my goodness.
Wells, I bought a suit and the pockets were sewn shut.
Mhm.
They were pockets. Like when I looked in the inside of the suit, I could see the pocket dangling there. It was a
Guys,
functional
none of the
pocket.
men know how suits
right?
work. Why do I know how suits
But
work?
the
What's going on
entrance,
with
the
this?
entryway into the pocket, you shall not pass. It was sewn shut.
Well, like the one that I have that the pockets got sewn shut, it was not sewn shut when I bought it. I took it to the tailor to have it tailored to me, and that's when they sewed the pockets shut.
I mean,
This
that
guy
is-
doesn't need
But
pockets. That's what
they
they were
do- they
thinking.
do-
Yeah, he doesn't
They-
need pockets. Don't worry about pockets.
I was like,
Tailors do it as
why?
well,
Why
actually,
do you?
yeah.
They're like, well, it'll fit you better this way, and I was like, okay. You say
That's
so.
weird.
That is wild. I mean, it should be against the law to sew a man's pockets shut. I'm just saying. Like, that's outrageous.
That makes me feel like someone's like crawling up behind you and sewing your pocket shut while you're not paying attention.
That's awful.
Is there like,
that would that'd be
is
mean.
there like a conspiracy here? Like, are all suits have terrible pockets? Is this a thing? You know?
Not,
I
not
think
if you
it's just
open
yours.
them.
Azima, I think you've got a clown suit, dude.
No, clown suits would have double the size pockets, surely.
That's true.
Yeah, either
You-
massive
you need
pockets
to be
or
able to
tiny,
fit other
tiny
clowns in
pockets,
there.
right?
And a rabbit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
fit all
yeah.
sorts of. What? No. What is the classic one? Like the endless handkerchief.
Magician suit. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
goes in a clown pocket. Endless handkerchief.
Listen, let's think about the purpose of the pocket, okay? It's to carry one's wallet, one's spectacles, and
to
possibly
rest
one's,
hands.
like, you know, checkbook. I mean, are we talking about when the pocket
Checkbook?
was first invented?
How-
When it was
what?
first invented, when it was
Checkbook?
first invented, the pocket had to be big
What
enough to
year
carry
is
like
this?
vintage things. Maybe a pocket mirror.
things.
Maybe a pocket,
Pocket
mirror.
mirror.
I don't think they were vintage at the time, Ren.
Yeah.
Allow me to ask you a question along these lines, then, right? If that is the purpose of the pocket, then explain to me pockets on women's clothing, in which you can fit like
Right?
a penny, and that is it.
This is an
Well,
actual thing.
This
is
is
an
the
actual
great
thing.
travesty of
Yes,
the
thank
pocket.
you. Thank you,
Women's
Wells.
pockets are tiny. They shouldn't like it's a travesty. It's devastating to humanity.
Truly
Oh,
the
that's not what
greatest
you were saying
injustice.
the other day
Women's
when we were chatting
pockets
about it.
rights. Rights. Make them bigger.
Yeah.
We need that.
I've never understood why women's clothing is like, here, you have a pocket. You're not allowed to put anything in it whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem is when there's the pocket is there, like it looks like a pocket from the outside, but there's actually no pocket attached
Exactly.
There's got,
Oh,
there's
there's
got
like
to be
not
an answer.
even
to it. No,
an
you
actual
don't have
pocket?
the fabric on the inside. Like there's it
Wow.
just looks like a pocket, but like
you
it's not.
you can't put your phone in there. You can't put a wall in there. You can't even put like your keys in your pocket.
Is
unless
it
it's
is it
one
because
singular key.
women will have handbags? So they're like,
That's what
well,
I said.
then you don't
that's-
need.
Men
Oh,
can
sorry.
have bags.
We can have
Yeah,
bags,
like,
but
what
like
if you don't want
it's
to?
more of an
What if you
accessory.
don't want to carry a handbag or a purse around with you?
Yeah.
I
Right?
know, then it's a problem.
But I guess it's a legacy thing, right? It's a legacy style, which has just lasted since the
Le-
50s
Dude.
or whatever.
Tell that to every single like clothing store. I'm pretty sure at this point.
So
don't know
are
if any
we
of them-
making the argument then that like women's pockets are the result of traditional values?
Could be.
Or-
Maybe?
I mean, someone had to
Getting
make a
heated in here,
decision.
guys.
So when did they first start mass manufacturing clothes? When they had different
Yeah.
values and ideals. So someone back
True.
then was probably like, well, women won't need these pockets.
Yeah, they don't need pockets.
That's a
It's
man's
fine.
thing, you know? Like,
Just give them little pockets.
or
Give them
no
tiny
at all.
pockets.
Let's even like pretend that there's a pocket, but put no pocket there.
Yeah. Just looks
Price
like a
them.
pocket.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then when someone goes to them, hey, put this in your pocket, and you go to your pocket and there's no pocket. You know, you have to say
I
no,
used
I
to
can't
have
carry it.
I used to have pockets on my shoes. Do you remember
Say-
this from the
I know you
90s?
have.
There used to be these
I know
shoes
you
in the
have.
90s that had like a little pocket on the side.
I don't remember
the
those.
side.
I remember them
remember-
putting lights in the shoes in the 90s.
Oh, light shoes
Oh.
are
Yeah.
awesome. Those
Dude,
are
lab shoes.
sweet.
Do you remember the what are they called, like zip off pants or whatever, where you could like you could like unzip them at the knee and they would turn.
Those are still a thing.
Yeah,
I've
the-
got a pair.
Those
Yeah,
are pretty
the-
great.
The cargo pant / trouser.
They're great for
Yeah.
when you're on holiday.
Those were so good. And then you could put the leg bits on your arms also, like as gauntlets.
You could do
If you
but,
wanted to, yeah. I guess.
not
I
sure anyone
definitely
does.
didn't. I definitely didn't do that.
I don't know if they still make
I
those.
definitely do that.
If you want some sleeves, if your arms are cold but your legs aren't.
Yeah, sometimes you just need access
Okay.
to some sleeve action.
Okay.
And those
but your
pants
legs
provided.
Legs are perfectly fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Your trousers are now also sleeves. Brilliant. So what's
And
up
then
with these
came along the
pockets
onesie, which is
on
something
the
that I've
shoe?
never understood.
The ones.
The
well,
onesie.
You've never understood the onesie.
I've never been in a onesie. How does
Well-
one get
Well,
into
that's
a
why you
onesie?
don't understand the onesie. They're
Dude,
like the most comfortable
Get
thing
this.
you'll
Someone
ever
get this
put
guy
on.
a onesie right now.
Wait, how do you get into a onesie?
Dude, you
have you ever
gotta.
been a baby?
Someone's gotta get you like.
the onesies that you wear as a baby.
What? So someone's got to put you in the onesie?
Yes. That's how it works.
Someone should get you like a
you imagine?
ridiculously like childish onesie, and then you gotta wear it on stream.
Yeah, you gotta get an animal
It's gotta
onesie.
sit there in like a Pikachu outfit or something.
If
No,
I'm going to
yeah,
put on a
yeah.
onesie,
Pikachu.
it's going to be a Pikachu onesie. Okay?
Oh,
I mean, it's probably going to be incredibly comfortable.
that as well. Unless it's hot. Unless it's a
yeah,
hot
yeah,
day.
yeah.
You gotta do it in
Yeah.
the winter.
Summer's not good.
Surely, like a onesie takes up your whole washing machine, though. This is a very unpractical piece of clothing, if you ask
No,
me.
not really. I mean, they're no bigger than like a shirt and a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Are your hands in the onesie? Do you just have like mittens, like
No,
mitten
usually
hands?
They have like. Have you ever seen like a pilot's flight suit? Like if you're talking like a military pilot.
Oh yes, yes. Okay,
It's
so it's like
basically
that.
like
overalls,
that.
but fleece, yeah.
Yeah, except it's comfy instead of being like
Yeah.
canvasy material.
Which Minecraft mob would make the best onesie?
A warden.
Ooh,
I want a warden onesie.
A sniffer.
these are good
It
answers.
would just be a sheep. It's like the boring answer. But
I think the Minecraft movie sheep, although the face isn't really a part of it, right?
Dude, how does the sniffer onesie work? They're on all fours.
Yeah, well,
you gotta
your
use
arms
all
have to
fours.
become legs.
It's the nose at the top of the head. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, nose at the top of the head.
Okay.
Does it have a
Okay,
tail?
Right,
Does the
Azuma, what
sniffer
would
have
you
a tail?
pick in Wells?
I feel like I'd go
Minecraft
with that
onesie.
llama that has the thing around its eyes, like the spy llama. When you put the black carpet
Ooh.
on it,
That's funny.
that would be that would be funny.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good one. But also on all fours. Okay. Well,
I don't know.
I
What-
think
what mob would you have a onesie of?
A sheep
Oh, a
would
sheep.
probably be the most comfortable one.
That would
Oh,
be
yeah.
a
That's
comfy
very
onesie,
boring
actually.
answer, you know, it's
No.
like
Oh,
Well,
it
yeah,
could
but
be
you
a
think that
jeb
it's
sheep, though,
thicker.
right?
but it's thicker where like wait, what?
Ooh.
I suppose it could
Like a
be.
multicolored
rainbow
sheep,
sheep.
a rainbow
Yeah.
sheep onesie.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
sweet.
dude. Why not?
I'm very boring when it comes to like clothes though. Like I'm like a neutral colors only for the most part.
Everything
I'm the same,
everything is
Wells.
just grey.
Everything's like black, gray, white, maybe like a navy blue if I'm feeling really frisky.
Navy blue. Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm
Craziest
My
of
wardrobe
colours.
is
pushing the
those
boundaries.
My wardrobe is those exact colors plus baby blue. And generally, if I find a shirt that I like, I get like 5 of them, and then I just use them for like years until they run out.
I'm
Oh,
like
They're
this
all
too,
damaged.
now that I think
Buying
about
fire
it.
things.
All my stuff is like pretty much black and white, and then, like you say, you find something that fits, I'll buy 5 of those, please.
Yep.
Like I've got 5
Makes
of the same
perfect
shorts,
sense.
5 of the same vests.
That's
you know,
that's
5 of
wild
the-
to me doing that. But then you,
False.
but then
I have been burnt so
can't-
many times. Okay, listen. I once found the most awesome shirt that was so comfy. It washed perfectly, never creased. It was the most glorious T-shirt of all time. I bought one of them, and then after a few years, it was all frayed and a mess. And it like, I was like, no, I need another one of these shirts. This is the perfect shirt. Gone. No longer produced. Never again will I make the same mistake. If I find a shirt I love, I'm getting 5 of them, and that's the end of the discussion.
Do you then, when you buy something, do you like write? You take notes like, where did I get it from? What's the name of it? Because that's what I do. Like, like if I buy something and like it, I make a note and then I buy more. If I decide to do that.
I'm not
Just
picky,
just
so no.
buy 5 immediately when you find something you like. Just get a bunch of them.
True. Sometimes
what
you
if you
need a
stop
little bit of
liking it
time to
after a
adjust,
while?
don't you?
And you have 5 of them.
I never
what I
thought about
mean?
it that way. That is a glass half empty approach, False.
No, but like people, like most people check their size changes sometimes, their style changes, and so like, yeah,
That's
with,
actually-
4
that is a
t-shirts
good
you've never
point.
worn before.
That is a
I mean,
good point.
I don't know what you mean. I still dress exactly like I did when I was 16.
I mean, I can't really speak on that. Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, I probably do have like way more pair of Converse than I should.
Converse are awesome though.
Converse are.
You gotta have at least
awesome.
one pair of Converse for sure.
I
Yeah.
think I have
Yeah.
like 6 pairs, 8 pairs.
Mm.
It's funny because I'm I'm very neutral color, black, white, gray, except my shoes. I'll have like bright green Converse or like
Oh my
yellow
goodness.
or like
Shoes
That's
are
where
things
you
get crazy
express
for
yourself,
Wells.
Wells.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
through
where-
the shoes.
Yep. Although most of the time I just wear like old man shoes. Like the slip-on, the like slip-on like loafers or clogs or whatever that you get at.
Oh, you need to get yourself some Crocs.
Yeah, I mean they're
Mm.
kind of like Crocs except they don't look like stupid.
Crocs do look a little silly. They do look a little
Well,
silly,
normally I-
but they make up for it in
normally I
comfort.
I just wear the like relatively cheap slip-on like loafers that you can get at like Walmart for $20 or whatever it is.
I have not
Yes.
made the dip into the Crocs yet.
Dude,
I
get
feel
some,
like it
get
might
some
be the
for when
end
you're
of
in the
it.
garden. That's
I
what
think
use
it
them
will.
Right?
It'll
I've got
it will
gardening Crocs and
basically
indoor
mark
Crocs.
the end of a part of my life. The moment I get Crocs.
I'm with you, Ren. I
Wow.
will not
There's before
compromise my
Crocs and
dignity.
after Crocs.
Dude, I wear them as
Simply
slippers.
Before and after Crocs.
Dude, get them as slippers. Trust me.
What? Croc slippers?
Yeah, I wear mine as like indoors.
Oh.
Oh.
Because slippers, I would like every 6 months I'd need a new pair of slippers. They'd have holes in the bottom. Or
Yo,
whatever, right?
I
So
should
have
probably
them.
read out some of these noises in the air.
And then,
Booksy96,
Now
thank you
I
for
have
86
Crocs.
months.
dude, they're
Poster
just
solved.
Nerd for 39.
Yeah.
Sana of Scarlet
Slippers are
for
annoying
39
also
as
'cause, like,
well.
Socks with them in the
Incredible.
winter,
And
boom.
Cowboy
Easy.
Chords.
Easy, mate.
Thank
After
you
the
for your
first
cheers
wash,
and
slippers
biddies.
get wrecked or
Some
so.
of these were like 30
annoying.
minutes ago. I'm so
Dude, they
sorry.
do,
I just
yeah.
love hanging out
So I
with the
just stopped-
hermits and
stopped
having a
buying
chat,
slippers. Saved so much money not
But
buying
thank you,
slippers
Beeps.
anymore.
Thank you.
Do you have the
It's a
little
cheat code.
the little buttons that you stick into the holes of the Crocs?
Yeah. Of
What do you
of
What do you
course.
have? What things do you
Currently,
have?
Is this like
I've got a
Croc
skull, I've got
Flare?
an alien head. I've got a hot dog.
Oh wow.
I've got a Jerry from
Hot
Tom and
dog?
Jerry. I've got a moon
That's
min.
wild.
I've got Maggie from The Simpsons in the star suit that she wears, like the onesie.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
there's
Actually.
Elmo for some reason, because someone bought me Elmo. I don't know why.
All right, those are pretty cool.
But this is like your flair, right? What's that movie? Is
Yeah,
it
it's your
Office
flair, your
Space?
Croc Flare.
You got to have flair.
Well, they don't have.
Yeah,
they
you
don't-
gotta have flair.
yeah.
It's like flair for the Croc.
And now my old Crocs go in the garden. They're my garden shoes. So
I mean, I can see them as garden shoes.
they're
Great
really
garden
good
X
garden
left.
shoes.
Thank you for the prime,
Yeah.
my dude.
Yeah, put
Appreciate
them
it,
by,
man.
like, back door, and then
Thank you for the
wear
spot.
them in the garden.
Yeah, exactly.
Recommended.
That's a good use of Crocs. But do you ever go in public with the Crocs?
I mean,
Only
I
in the
have them, but
garden, never in
did I wear
public.
them? Yeah, in the garden. I mean, I don't want to. I'd need a third pair of Crocs, so I think.
Yeah,
The indoor Crocs day, and I don't want to wear the old, the old garden
Yeah.
Crocs.
for a late
I
night
could
trip to
also
the
see
co-op
them
or
as,
something.
like, acceptable beach shoes.
Sure, beach is
Yeah.
acceptable.
Like if you're
Beach
going to the
acceptable.
beach or the pool or something.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically
I
anything
agree.
involved that involves getting wet intentionally.
Dude, I think we should go to the cinema wearing Crocs.
And put your
What-
feet
what a
up so everyone can see them.
concept. No one's ever done that before, right? Wow. Oh my goodness.
That'd be wild. That'd be really wild.
Dude, that's wild for men. You can't.
That'll
you
make
said
the
it-
news.
That would. Yeah. The
Man
Hermitcraft
seen in the
news.
cinema with Crocs.
Wow.
Speaking of the
Headlines.
cinema, are y'all gonna go see 28 Years Later?
Yeah. I love the
haven't
first movie.
been
It was so
to a
good.
Movie theater in like
Wait, what is it called?
28 Years Later.
Did they make another one?
Yeah.
Two actually. Like one.
Oh, I didn't know.
One in a couple of weeks comes out, and then one at the beginning of next
Oh.
year.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'll be watching it.
It's gonna be so
Oh,
cool.
And
Jodie
it's
Comer's
got
in it.
it's got the original dude. Is it Cillian Murphy? Or did I just butcher his name?
I think isn't it pronounced Killian?
Killian. Oh my god, I
It's
butchered
Killian,
it.
but I don't know.
I butchered it.
I haven't watched that movie in ages. I
The
might
first
watch that
movie
back.
was so ahead of its time.
Yeah,
Jeez, I
it was
remember watching
great.
it when it
Right?
first came out. It was unbelievable.
I think zombie movies
so good.
hadn't
Yeah,
hadn't evolved
2002.
for a long time when that one came out. Like, you know, the classic George Romero where the zombies are slow and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it
those
feels-
zombies were just terrifying.
Yeah, it feels like
In 28 Days Later.
around the time. I don't know if it was that movie specifically, but like that kicked off like a revival of the zombie stuff again.
It was that movie. That movie redefined the zombie
You're probably
as
right,
a
yeah.
useless thing to like an insanely fast and ravenous creature that would stop at nothing to get you.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's just so terrifying.
Dude, do you guys
was
play
awesome.
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
That
loads.
game is awesome, and I really wish that they'd come up with some sort of sequel. You know?
Yeah, it is really good. It's really
you
fun.
know that it would be perfect timing for that actually.
Mm,
So like,
true.
They did one a few years ago that I tried, and it wasn't made by Valve, and it was just not very, very good, unfortunately. But Left 4 Dead 2 is still a lot of fun.
I think the last movie that I saw in theaters was like the first Star Wars sequel trilogy movie. What was it, The Force Awakens or whatever?
That one was all right.
Yeah, it was right.
I watched it
first
again
one of the
recently.
sequel trilogy.
It's the next two that kind of go off a cliff.
The last
That's
movie I
like,
saw in the
that's like
cinema
10
was
years
Dune.
ago. Dude, June was sweet.
Yeah, I don't.
Dune
go to
2 in the
I-
cinema was
Oh,
I
insane.
don't
What a
do movie
treat.
theaters all that often. I'm more likely to go to like a musical, like a live,
Musicals
musical
are
or
cool.
theater performance or something than I am to go to the theater. I'd rather go watch, I don't know, A Midsummer Night's Dream by my local theater troupe than go to a theater.
yeah.
know, there's
I
some
don't go
films
to-
that
I
are
don't go
like-
there often.
There's some films that were engineered for cinema, like Dune, for example, and so it's a really unique experience because it was produced to be consumed at its best in a cinema, right? That kind of experience is really cool. But I mean, not all
Yeah.
movies are made this way, you know?
I think part of the problem is the place where I live is very much like a make your own fun kind of city. Like there's one big movie theater and it's booty cheeks. It's bad. Like it's stupid
goodness.
expensive.
Ah.
It's always dirty. It's like
See, I got like a multi. What do they call it? A multiplex or something? Like there's 16 screens and they're always clean and comfortable and air conditioned. So like,
Yeah.
you go
Is it
in
an
there and
Odeon?
you're just like, your comforts are taken care of, and it's just like you just indulge in the cinema at that point. But yeah, if you're in like a smelly, dirty, rotten place, that'll suck. Stuck there for a couple of hours.
Sweet. Anyway, so that was a great conversation about pockets, cinema, and
What did it start with?
Well, I
Like
have something for you,
supermarket
by the
sweet?
way.
and whatever else we spoke about. That was glorious. Good to see you,
What
Wells.
else?
I think Wells, you might be
Sorry,
Sorry,
moving.
carry on. Cinema? Yeah, you talking about cinemas, Ren?
Yeah. Well, I wanna quickly steal Ozuma for a second to go to
Oh,
the
yes.
gallery,
Yes, let's
so I
do
can
that.
get a recording for my
I'll follow
episode.
you in a second, Ren, because
Wow,
I need to talk
okay.
with X too.
Oh yes, I needed
Okay,
to
cool.
chat with you, Wells. I forgot I sent you a message, didn't I?
Not that way, X.
No.
This way.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, we're right here, dude.
True, we are right next to it.
Beautiful. Oh, it's
All right.
raining.
Information.
For the first time ever, it's raining.
Well,
This
I'm gonna
way.
get used to it.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in a bit.
Bye, fools. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye.
What's this man doing?
I didn't say goodbye to
Right.
fools. So I tried
Oh.
shouting at her.
Okay, where you at, X? Okay, here you are.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm literally here. Hi.
Okay, sweet. I just wanted to get a quick little bit for my episode, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Just about this room over here.
Yeah, did you see my message though?
No, but it's fine. We can just do a bit.
Okay.
Is it a yes?
I said just talk to Beef because that's. I'm pretty sure Beef wouldn't mind, right? But like, if you ask Beef, he'll.
Oh, this
He
was
might even
Beef's
be around.
place?
Yeah. It's got his
Oh, okay.
paintings and stuff in there.
Oh, right. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. I
Well,
didn't see the paintings.
Shoot him a DM. He might be around. He's usually around earlier in the day than
No,
this.
that's
so
cool.
I know he's
'Cause-
like up and about.
Yeah, because my room was here, but it looks like
Yeah.
that's
I
changed.
I kind of like lost track of all the rooms, and there was one that was just
Yeah.
unlabeled, so you can have that, or speak to Beef and have his. Also, I wonder what Forces looks like, right? It says no
Yeah,
spoilers.
I'm excited to see it. It's going to be really cool. But no peeking. No peeking, X.
Oh,
Although
I'm
I
so
think you've
tempted.
probably seen them. You've seen them probably?
I've seen all the art pieces. I put them on, so I've seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's done with the area. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I did not realize that this was actually Beef's thing. So,
No worries. Just
I guess
like I said, check in with him.
there's another room up at the top that I thought might be good instead.
Okay.
Which is this one?
This
Mumbo's
is
one? I don't know
Mumbo's,
if
yeah.
Mumbo's done anything or...
Again, you just have to ask Mumbo. Like, if you want to swap with someone, I'd say just ask them.
Oh yeah, there's this room too.
Yeah, so that's you now. I should have changed that. This is Ren.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, this is cool then. Yeah, this is great.
Do you read your Discord messages?
Sometimes.
I'm pretty sure I told you could have this room. Here.
Oh yes, you did. I was traveling at the time, and traveling
no
is
worries,
stressful.
no
and the
worries.
brain doesn't take in information while traveling. You know how it is.
Yeah, dude, I've been jet lagged quite a bit. Like since I've been back,
Yeah.
I've not been 100%, but I haven't been like off my feet or anything like that, But I'm definitely feeling like my circadian rhythm is just off.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what gets me also from traveling is the sleep. Like just falling out of this like sleep patterns is so
Yeah.
rough.
Dude,
Although,
going
this weekend I stayed at a Premier Inn. Man, Premier Inn is so awesome.
I was listening to your stream yesterday when you were talking about that.
Yeah. Like I look, Premier Inn, sponsor me, dude. I will sing your praises.
Dude,
There's
that'd be
nothing better than a
great
Premier Inn.
sponsor. You just get some incentive to go travel and stay in a hotel overnight.
What's great about a Premier Inn is that there's never any surprises. They're
Yeah.
always exactly the same.
Dude, I stayed in the one next to the airport before I went to Japan, just so there was
Yeah.
like no stress traveling in the morning. And it
Yeah.
was new, and it was in there was just luxury. It felt like I was in a 4 or 5 star hotel or something,
Oh, beautiful, man.
Like you said,
Beautiful.
it's like 50 quid a night, isn't it?
Well, the airport one's a little bit more expensive, but yeah,
might be.
they're generally
It had no reception. They had automated the reception area at the one I went to. And I was
Oh,
kinda
interesting.
Like, I was like, that's a bit lame, man. We're just taking out like human interaction out of everything. It seems like.
Yeah, that
You
does
know?
kind of take a bit of the soul out of a hotel, right? Like that's.
Yeah. I've been to some like really old hotels that are run by like families, and like it's interesting the people you talk to who have just been in the business for years, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and you're just not going to
I've
get
been to a few
interact
of
with
those too.
those characters as much anymore.
those old hotels just hit different. Like they're.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It feels like you're staying at someone's home. You know?
I went to one that was probably like a 5-star hotel 100 years ago, and now it's
Yeah.
like kind of a bit shabby and run down. But the dude, like the rooms were 12 foot tall. Every room with
Wow.
a ridiculously high ceiling, and like all this old fancy decor that are just like degraded and stuff. But that place
That
was
sounds
a vibe.
so cool, though.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I forget where it was.
Nice, man.
Somewhere up north. Chester. I think it was in Chester.
Ah, in Chester.
Yeah, I had
don't
to
believe
travel
I've
up
been
there.
to Chester.
What's the most
Actually,
questionable
Chester's
hotel?
really, really cool. If you ever end up there, like there's a city. What do they call it when you got like the castle city where there's like a wall that goes all the way around the center of the town, which is like the shopping area. There's loads of nice eateries
Oh.
there and
Cool.
old school shops. Like you can find a little guitar shop and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
There. It's a nice little spot. If ever you're
That sounds
passing
great,
through.
man.
What's the most questionable hotel that you've ever stayed in?
Ooh. I don't think I've really had a bad one. Other than up north, I think it was Middlesbrough. I stayed in a bit of a... It felt like the cleaners didn't care that much, you know?
When I left London, I had to drive all of my furniture to the town that I was moving to. So I drove all the furniture there, and then I had to drive the van back to London. And then, it was like 3 hours one way, 4 hours one way. So I was decided to stay in London that night and then go back to my new place in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just stayed at like the cheapest hotel I could find near the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like £40 or something for the night, which in London is like very cheap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was the room in the bottom floor of the hotel with the boiler in it.
Oh.
Like there was a boiler in the room.
Did it make
and
a
I was
lot of
like,
noise or anything?
Yeah. It sounded like a little jet engine or something. Every
Oh,
like 10
man.
minutes would just go. And after like 3 hours, I just went to the reception. I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I can't do this.
Did they
And,
refund you or
when-
anything?
No.
Oh, that's
Nope.
unfortunate.
We had
Yeah.
a similar reason. I was traveling for work. This was, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. And we got done with the work stuff. This was back in my military days. We got done at like midnight. We were all released. And I had about a 3.5-hour drive home. So I made it until about 2 in the morning, and I was like, I need to find somewhere to fall asleep because I can't, I'm like driving on the highway and I'm like nodding off. I'm like, I need to find somewhere. So I found like the cheapest hotel I possibly could, much like you, Ren. It was like $25 a night for a room.
Uh-huh.
And it was one of those ones where like they give you a key. The door to the hotel is outside. You like park your car and it was like a
It's like a scene from
motel.
Breaking Bad, dude.
Yeah, it was like, it was actually better than I expected for $25 a night, but it was not good.
Were there any
Jeez, man, that's-
cockroaches?
No, I didn't see any. I didn't see any cockroaches.
Thank goodness.
But like the bedspread looked something like straight out of my grandma's house. It looked like they updated like the aesthetics
Yeah.
of the room since like
the curtains.
1965. Like,
Yep.
the bed was like super uncomfortable. Like, but I mean, for $25, I was like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. You know what's interesting though? I've noticed that there was a time where like Airbnb was just better value to use, but it's flipped now. Like Airbnb is way more expensive than hotels now.
That's
Jeez, man.
interesting. I haven't,
Like what's happened?
I haven't used Airbnb yet, and I've heard a few horror stories about it that kind of put me off.
I've never had any bad experiences with it. It's always been really good, but like it's so much more expensive now.
Yeah, it's it's highly dependent on the person who owns the house. Like there are people who are great and will leave you alone and won't try to like take advantage of you, and then there are a few bad ones out there that kind of create all the horror stories.
Yeah.
I remember on one trip we had booked a hotel. I'd booked the hotel, and it looked okay. It wasn't like, you know, rated 5 stars or whatever, but someone in our group was looking ahead and reading reviews about this place, and there were all these comments saying that there's like a bunch of people that just stayed there smoking weed in the hallways all night. And like we read through these reviews and they were all really recent, and it was kind of like, we can't get a refund, we have to like go book another one because we had kids with us and stuff. That would have been interesting though. That would have been very unpleasant.
I had
we like
similar
dodged a bullet on it.
Yeah, I had kind of a similar experience. I have a very good friend of mine who comes to visit me probably about twice a year. He lives about 8.5, 9 hours away.
And in America, Wells, that is like driving distance, isn't it, to see someone?
It is. I mean, it's a long drive, but it's drivable. Yeah, he usually drives down.
That's crazy.
Like he wanted to go to Nashville the most recent time he was here for one night, and I was like, okay, that's fine. He's like, I'll get the hotel. I'll pay for all the stuff. It's fine. I was like, I don't care what hotel we stay in. I don't care how nice it is. Just one request: don't put us in the hood. That's all I care. That's all I care about. So we get to the hotel that we booked a room at. There's like iron bars covering the reception. I'm like, man, you had one job. I'm like, we are definitely in the hood. It was fine.
Crazy.
Like, it was like,
yeah, we ended up staying there, and it was perfectly fine. Like nothing happened or anything like that. But when you walking into a hotel and seeing iron bars blocking
that's not
the
a hotel
counter
vibe,
does
is
not
it?
inspire confidence.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not a good vibe. Oh my god. But yeah, in America,
Yes.
you'll drive crazy distances. Like here in the UK, like you can drive like bottom to top of the country in like 5 hours, I think.
Dude, I drove to Sheffield this weekend. It took like 4 hours. I was like, man, this is a crazy long drive. 4 hours. I was dead by the end of it, man. 4 hours in America is like you go shopping.
For us Brits, right? But then in America, it's like, what, 4 hours? It's easy.
That's nothing.
It's the car culture.
I think if I go home to visit my my family, it's about an 11-hour drive.
Jeez, man, that's crazy.
I don't usually do it in one day. I usually will drive about halfway and then get a hotel.
Dude, America's such a big place, though. Like, you know, I bet there's somewhere interesting to stop off halfway, see some nature, see a city, you know?
Sometimes
much.
It really depends on like where you are. Like the thing is, when I drive home, probably 80% of the drive is just driving through rural Illinois, which is like all farmland.
Oh, of course.
That's about it.
So it's like you're going down the road and it's just nothing but fields of crops and stuff.
Exactly.
Of
like the whole drive, you're just out in the middle of
true.
nowhere. It's just farmlands. You'll hit like a tiny little town every so often where you can stop and get gas and stuff like that. But there's just, nothing there. So
That's
it really kind of
true.
depends on what part of the state.
Yeah,
you're going
it's
to.
so diverse, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I feel like here in the UK, most places are not far from interesting stuff. By interesting, I mean like old castle ruins and like stately homes and that kind of like national heritage. No, what is it? Is it National Trust and English Heritage are the two we have here?
Yes, these things. Yeah, there's always something.
Because
Always
America's
something.
so much newer, there isn't as many old things that get preserved, I guess.
But America has natural beauty that England could never match.
Yeah, I saw some of your pictures in your stream, and like that's on my list to go over to the
bro.
to the West Coast and see. What were the areas again?
It was North
Yosemite?
California and Yosemite and North
Yeah.
California. Yeah, just insane. I mean, words cannot describe what you see when you're there. It's just unbelievable. It's like an alien landscape. So it's so breathtaking.
I watched the Yellowstone, and one of the things I loved about it was just taking in the beauty. Like it puts a bit of a spotlight on
Th-
that.
I think
part of
that's
the world.
Montana, though, right?
That is Montana, yeah.
But it's also crazy, amazing mountain
But you
mountain
like you
ranges
just
and
you
stuff.
get that impression of like there are landscapes in America, the way things to come together that you just don't get in the UK. The UK's got a different
No.
vibe, right? Yo, Japan is super interesting. Like Japan's countryside is very like mountainous, hilly, and covered in green, and like it feels like there's like 3 dominant shades of green. And
Wow.
yeah, wherever you're traveling through the country, it looks really like big, bold, and bushy, but it's just not the same as like the greenery here in the UK. It's
Hmm.
kind of hard to describe, but that's just the ecology of that area.
I mean,
right?
there are parts of England that are unbelievably beautiful, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cotswolds, the Lake District, the Peak District,
Yes.
Scotland. Like north of Scotland is unbelievably beautiful. Even like Central Ireland, obviously is not the UK, but these islands are very, very beautiful, right? Also the mountains in Wales and the Pembrokeshire
dude, I
coastline
love
in
Wales.
Wales.
Have you seen?
Amazing.
Is it called Trifan? There's mountains in North Wales. I'm pretty sure it's called Trifan, and it is like 3 peaks together.
Yes.
And they look like something out of Lord of the Rings. It is so cool.
Yeah, so cool. So good.
Dude, when I was a kid and we went up to Wales, we used to drive up to the top of this mountainous area where it was kind of flat once you got to the top area, but you were really high up. And the fields had, I think they're fern bushes, right? They're these sort of bushes that as a kid you can just like jump on and spring off of. They're like really like bushy and comfortable. And we used to go up there and just like run around and play hide and seek. And it was so beautiful up there. Just
I
love.
love the upper Midwest in the U.S., like kind of where Canada and the U.S. sort of share a border, like the Great Lakes region.
Mm-hmm.
That area in there where you've got like the Upper, as we call it, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It is gorgeous up there. Absolutely beautiful.
What massive plains and mountains and lakes and that sort of thing, right?
No, it's mostly hills and forests and bluffs and lakes, rivers, stuff
Nice.
like that. It's gorgeous. It's one of those places where if you enjoy hiking and fishing and hunting.
Thank you
and
for the
four-wheeling and
correction, but I
snowmobiling,
think
that
you
kind
might
of
be
stuff,
right.
then,
Trifan
like, you're in
might
heaven.
be it.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
the
you
spot.
don't like outdoorsy stuff, then you are in like the 9th circle of hell because there's nothing else there.
Dude, I was literally looking at a tour guide book earlier today for like other places to go, and there was one for, I'm pretty sure, the region you're just describing. Did you say Michigan?
Yeah, it'd be like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, Minnesota.
So there's
That
like
whole
a
area.
big lake there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
there's the Great Lakes, which is there are several Great Lakes. Lake Superior and Lake Michigan are the two.
this
kind of that I'm referring
this
to.
guide like literally I think does like a circle around there, so like you go in both America and Canada, and it said it's like, this trip is for nature.
Mhm.
And I was, oh dude, these tour guides though,
Yeah, I mean-
they all looked amazing, but that one looked cool too.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota are basically just like Canada South. You can even tell a little bit from the accents. It's why people think that Beef and I sound so much alike.
Ah.
Because we the Wisconsinites and people from De Upper sound just a little bit Canadian. But
I hear it now that you say it. Like it's
That's
really
true.
made me hear it all of a sudden. Like it's always there, but then bam, you mention it, and now
Yeah,
it's like,
it's less defined now than it was before I moved to Tennessee 10 years ago.
yes.
It definitely has morphed. I've become a little bit more southern over the years, but every now and again the Wisconsin comes out just a little bit. You get a little, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just reminds me of Fargo.
Yeah,
one
if I
of
was
my
about to
favorite
say
shows.
Fargo. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oofta, that's a cutting sucker.
Oofta.
Woofda.
Just like a
Dude, that stuck in my head for a while. I kept saying it on stream. Woofda.
Yep.
Another excellent
You
show.
betcha. Yep.
Very depressing though.
And movie as well.
Yeah, true. Gents, I need to go and eat. I'm starting to get hangry.
Hangry.
So before I shout at your beautiful faces, mwah, 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 I'm out of here.
See you
All
around.
right. See ya.
Dinner time. We'll see you guys later.
You said you had questions. You told me on Discord.
Yes, I did. I also stated I might have already asked you because my memory is pretty terrible these
You did
days.
not.
Okay, cool. Well, if you just whiz with me over to the spawn chunks, I'll show you what's up. Woo! Bam. Alrighty, so down here I'm trying to capture a little something. Oh.
Let me sleep.
Sleepy time. I'm being very nosy and looking in your shulker box.
By all means. This is my essentials shulker box.
I think it's something like every Minecrafter does. If there's a box or a shulker box, you just go look in it. How much of this have you seen before?
None of it, actually.
Oh, well, peruse and enjoy the spectacle. These are murals.
Okay.
They will eventually display stats. The original idea was that, like, there would be a statistic for every hermit, but then that kind of became tricky, so gonna go a little loose and easy on the stats and just try and tell a story of someone's season. So, like, Beefs is a very obvious story, right?
Yep. Of course.
Joe has been using the trident like crazy. B-Dubs had his horses murdered. So there's just lots of little stories to be told here. I want to come up with a story for yours. You're like the last person I've got to figure out here.
Should just leave it blank. Just have like the stand, have my name, and then just have nobody there. That's my story of this season.
That if I could relate that to a statistic that like
time not played.
Yeah, like that would actually be kind of funny.
Oh man. No, I don't know. I'd have to think on it. I mean, that would certainly be hilarious.
Yeah, I think a joke is good, like something a little less serious amongst all the things. But I was kind of thinking like you got the castle, maybe there was something in there that's like unique to you, or maybe like one of your shops could make an interesting mural.
Yeah, the only shop that I have is the brick one.
Because I can put like a brick background here, and then have you doing something brick related.
Yeah, it really hasn't been a big part of the season, to be honest. It's just been kind of like I have the permit, I restock the shop as needed. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just there. If we're gonna do something focused on the season, it would probably be related to the castle.
Yeah. Well, XB was one that I wasn't too sure about, and I spoke to him, and then we came up with, he had the prank where his base got blown up by TNT early on, so like now we're gonna have something related to TNT over here.
Okay.
That'll be his one. So like, if there's like a memorable moment you can think of, maybe something from Demise.
Think on that.
But yeah, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Like, take your time, man. I just wanted to like show you this so you could, get an idea of what I'm after.
One of the gallery pieces is actually just the castle.
So you could have like the castle here.
So you could put it. I mean, you'd have to sort of finagle it a little bit, but I'm sure you could find a way to make it work.
I could have you like holding it. I think would look.
That might work. Something along those lines. Yeah.
That could be something. Yeah.
Yeah, something related to the castle would probably be the best way to define the season, unless you want to do the joke about me just not being around much for this one.
If there's a statistic that I can correlate to that, it's gonna be tempting, but I don't think there will be one.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably just be like time played, and it would end up being a pretty low number.
I think there's already one for that down here, but yeah. I mean, that could be the irony, though. If your time played, then you would be at the bottom of the list, maybe.
I'm sure I would be, probably by quite a lot. Outside of, like, maybe some of the other people who, like, dropped off entirely.
Ah, yeah. I'll keep it in mind, then. But hey, yeah, have a think. I won't rush into doing anything, but when I figure out what the right thing is, then... we'll get to complete this little area down here, which is going to be awesome.
Cool. So, question about the art gallery thing.
Yeah.
So.
Should we head over there?
How do we? Yeah, why don't we head back there? I don't remember where it is. Over here. Here we go. So which
Nice.
room did you say was supposed to be mine?
It will be labeled. Okay, yeah, I remember where it is. So yours is here, and you've got
Right here.
3 walls. Maybe you could squeeze 4 paintings onto here, but you can make use of like the space behind you over here and around here as well.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, like started to like lose space to fit everyone in together. If that makes sense. So you've got like
be fine if I can have basically everything from like here.
Yeah, you totally can.
Because there's 5 paintings, right? So we could put like one here, and then one on each of these 3 walls.
Yeah, you could also build like a little display case that like stands up in this space, and then you could put something on it.
And then is the intention that I make all this, or that I design the little room area stuff myself? Is that the
Yeah,
plan?
but you know, you don't have to do anything crazy. Like you can, if do you have free cam?
I do.
So if you drop down below where we are now, like Cleo has gone very minimal. And
Yeah, I
then-
looked through some of the other rooms earlier.
Yeah, so like Joel has probably gone like the most crazy with decoration. So like you can do whatever you want, like keep it minimal, go ham. It's like up to you really.
How do I get the specific painting?
Great question.
paintings that I want?
I've actually
'Cause
made
that
them
I don't
already for you here, but if you put them into the stone cutter,
fantastic.
so
Okay, that's fantastic. Now this will work fine. This is perfect.
well, when you put it on the wall and then break it, it will lose what one it is. So you want to put it into the stone cutter, and then you can change it back to like whichever one.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yep, totally.
Awesome. Okay.
Fantastic. I will probably do this. Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Cool.
When I'm feeling it.
Yeah, whenever you're feeling it.
I got sucked into what's called Return to Moria. Are you familiar with it?
Dude, didn't we play that game as a group together?
I don't think we. Well, I didn't. You may have with some of the other
Yes.
Hermits. It came out maybe like a year or 2 ago at this point.
That sounds about right, yeah.
But I kind of skipped on it at the time because I was busy with other stuff. And then I stumbled across it on Steam on sale. I think it was like 40% off or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and like it is my kind of game. I should probably just try it. So I started playing, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And then suddenly it's been like 4 days, and I haven't done anything productive.
I enjoyed it. It was like not the sort of game I would pick to play, and it had poor reviews at the time that I played it. But we had this sponsorship opportunity, and I was like, well, you know, let's play it. Let's have some fun together. And I actually really enjoyed playing that game. It was a lot of fun. We also, I think, as a group, figured out how to cheese fighting, but I think you might need multiplayer to do that. I don't know if you've done anything like that yet.
My biggest gripe so far is that it's very clearly balanced. It's got that same kind of thing with Ark, right? Where like it's very clearly balanced around having multiple people. So if you're just like playing single player, it's like, oh, cool. The game is not balanced for you, and everything's 3 times harder than it should be.
Yeah, and not only that, in multiplayer, we found a way to cheese it and make it easy.
Yeah, thankfully mods are a thing. So
Oh,
I can fix, most of
right.
my
So it's got a
gripes by
modding
just-
scene.
and yeah. I mean, pretty much every game does.
That's true.
So most of the stuff that annoys me, inventory stack size,
Yes.
stuff like that. Like I can just find a mod that's like, oh yeah, things now stack up to 999 instead of 30. or,
That's
like,
cool.
whatever,
Because I remember playing it and encountering a few things where it was like, oh, if this was just a little bit different, it'd be so much easier, more convenient.
Yeah,
you
there's a
mod it.
lot of those survival games that are like that. Ark is a great example. Like I can't even play unmodded Ark without going insane.
Yeah.
But like modded Ark is a lot of fun.
Dude,
There's a lot of games where you just kind of need mods to fix certain things.
that game died for me when, like, I was taming dinos and stuff, and it was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. Like, new and novel. And then I had to tame a dino where it was like 4 hours until it's tamed, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, like the annoying thing about Ark is like when you're creating a world, right? You can choose all the sliders for like how many resources you get
Mm.
and all that kind of how long it takes to tame things, etc. So like honestly, the game feels like good when you crank all that stuff up as high as it goes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, do you mean,
like if
when you say
like,
tame
that's
time,
where-
do you mean like cranking it up reduces it?
reduce it significantly.
Yes,
So
yes.
it goes from being like 4 hours to being like 40 seconds.
Oh, that would be,
You know,
that'd be wonderful.
or you know, when you hit a tree to mine some wood, instead of getting 1 wood, you get 100 wood.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. And it feels like super broken when you're, you know, putting the actual settings in, but then as you actually play, you're like, oh no, this actually feels about right. Because the thing is, like, to build 1 wall is like 200 wood.
Yeah, you're there. Basically, you're there to
You know?
like be creative, and there's a grind in front of you. I think it's the same thing with Minecraft, because like some of us enjoy the grind, so there's an element of that being a part of the game. But when you've played the game for over 10 years, like the grind just doesn't mean anything. So you just kind of want to get to, you know, the creative bit.
But the thing with Minecraft, though, is like the grind is actually somewhat reasonable.
It's not the
You know-
worst, is it?
You know what I mean? Like, if I spend an hour mining, I don't know, basalt,
Yeah.
I've probably got enough basalt for whatever I'm going to be building.
This is
you know,
true. I think
Unless it's something truly massive. If I spend an hour chopping wood in Ark, I have enough to make like 5 wall segments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the grind in Ark is just, at least when we're talking like default settings, the grind in Ark is like stupidly ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the Minecraft grind is the inventory, because like as soon as you want to build something relatively fancy or detailed, you just start managing boxes and chests, and
yeah,
time
I would agree
disappears
with
into
that.
that. Yeah.
I would agree with that for sure. There's a lot of like annoying inventory management stuff, but the problem with Ark is just like it takes so long just to get the resources, and everything is so expensive. Like it's
Mm,
balanced around you having 60 people in a tribe in an online public server who are all gathering wood at once.
yeah.
But so if you're trying to do it by yourself, it's like it's
A
miserable.
nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some games are like that.
Fun game, but needs some adjustments.
For sure. For sure.
I've also been playing a lot of like incremental games lately.
I avoid
like,
those. I avoid those. I know what you're
I
talking
enjoy
about.
them sometimes. Yeah, it's like your cookie clicker type stuff.
Yeah, they're just dopamine hit games. Like, you're not actually doing anything, right? It's like the framework
Some of them
of it.
more than others.
Ah,
There's some.
I'll tell you what.
there-
They get you doing redstone stuff, right? Like make a door does this and get points and clickers. That'd be great, because like you using your head to figure out how to put the pieces together. But most of the ones I've seen, because I do check them out, like they just seem like push buttons, you know?
There are a lot of them that are like that are really just kind of mindless. Which, admittedly, sometimes is kind of nice. Sometimes you're just in the mood to not think for a while and to just kind of like kill some time.
Ah, I
and they
can't
can be
do
good
that.
for that. But there are a few of them that are a lot more involved. There's one I played recently called Cauldron. It's actually really good. It's
I
basically
think I saw that one. Yeah.
it's very interesting. It's an RPG where you have a party and there is like some combat stuff. But then there are like the way that you increase your power is through mini game. There's like a fishing mini game and a mining mini game and a apple collecting and like there's these middle mini games, and through the mini games you unlock upgrades and all this other kind. It's very, very interesting, and it's really good. Played through that fairly recently as well. But
Yeah, I haven't really played any games lately. I was almost going to play Monster Train 2, but it just kind of looked way too like the same thing as the first one.
yeah, it is very, very similar to the first one. Have you played modded Slay the Spire?
I have not. I tried Slay the Spire, but I feel like it's been spoiled by playing games like Monster Train, because it's kind of like those games are like Slay the Spire with loads of extra bells and whistles, and then Slay the Spire then feels like taking a step back, if that makes sense.
Oh, I actually like Slay the Spire a lot better than Monster Train.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd have played it first, I probably would have, but I started playing it. I just got this feeling like I've kind of seen these mechanics in other games now, you know? Like, that's the thing for me with games, is that, like, I'm not that hardcore on games, so, like, I'm interested in seeing new game mechanics emerge and new concepts and ideas, but as soon as I get my head around it, I'm just done. I just don't want to play that thing again.
What was that other one? There was another deck builder that you'd probably like. I gotta remember what it was called.
Yeah, deck builders is another, like, that's like a fix that's sort of getting filled now. Like, I've tried a few lately, and it's just like, this was great when it was novel and like you first introduced to it. Dude, I played one called Get Yoked, where you like train in the gym to make your bodybuilder grow. It's ludicrous. You should it's free to play, by the way. You should check it out. Like, Get Yoked. It's like you can play it for half an hour and have a little bit of fun. But it's hilarious.
Dice-O-Mancer, that's what it was called. There's a
Yeah, I
game
played that
called
one.
Dice-O-Mancer. You've played that?
Yeah.
The ability to like change the numbers on your cards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Wild. That one was super. I enjoyed that a lot. I wish that one was longer. I wish there was more content in it.
A lot of games are coming out like early access, or they're coming out from like indie demos, and so they're really quite small. And you play through them, and then there's just like not more. You have to wait a year.
A lot of them are also just not super long. Like Dice-O-Mancer, it was full release, but even full release, I think I got through 90% of the content in like 13 hours ish.
Wow, that's quick.
Which is like a decent amount of playtime, and it's not a super expensive game. But like, you know, if I'm playing like a roguelite, I want something that I can play for, you know, basically endlessly.
Yeah.
Without, you know, we were all spoiled with like Isaac, for example. That
was a highly replayable game, yeah.
like, you know, I think I've got like 3,000 hours or whatever it is in
Dang.
Isaac at this point,
Crazy.
and still haven't unlocked. I have 1,231 hours in the Binding of Isaac, and I still haven't even unlocked like half of the stuff.
Yikes.
Like, it's insanity.
Have you played any of these backpack management games that are starting to pop off around the whole like dice and deck building and cards and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, have a look into that. There's a few of them out there. It's kind of like a little bit of inventory management where you get items and you've got to sort of arrange them into a grid, and they can like power up things around them based on, you know, pairing things together or making good use of space and stuff. It's an interesting concept.
Did you ever play Save Room?
No, not heard of that one.
So, have you ever played Resident Evil, like the older Resident
I
Evil?
have not. I haven't played those.
Okay. Well, basically, in Resident Evil 4, you had a case that was your inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything had like a shape and a number of locks that it would take. Like a healing spray would take up like a 1x2, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So there was this kind of like almost Tetris-like mini game where you had to find a way to fit everything inside your case, and that was the inventory management. It was a lot of fun. Save Room is this super cheap game. I think it's like $1 or $2 or something like that. It's super cheap. That basically is just a bunch of puzzles built on that idea.
I
Where it's
like puzzles.
It's like Resident Evil 4's inventory management, but as a puzzle game, where they're like,
Ooh.
here's the case that you have to work with. Here are the items you got to fit. Figure it out. And it's super short. It takes like an hour to play through the whole thing, but as I said, it's super cheap. It's like $1.
Dude,
or
I might give it a
$2 or
go.
something
Yeah,
like that.
I like puzzle games.
It's really
so-
good. It is $2.99.
I'm looking at the Steam page. It kind of looks like, yeah, you got to like visualize space and how different items fit together. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. It's one of those games that you play through it once and then you're like, okay, I've done it. You don't really have a desire to play through it again, but like,
I think that's a stream game for me. I love playing puzzles.
I was just gonna say it would make a great game to play,
Yeah.
as like a one-off stream for an hour. You
Yeah,
know?
I love doing those every now and then. I just struggle to find the right games to play on them, I guess. But that looks like one of them. I've got that bookmarked, so.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed that one.
Do you play many other
Well
puzzle
done.
games?
I'm sure there are a couple. I mean, I know you're a chess player.
Oh yeah, I love chess. I love chess puzzles
Um,
actually. Chess puzzles more than playing chess.
Yep, there's a few chess roguelikes
Dude,
that I've played that are pretty good.
We talked about this in the past, and then I went and played a bunch of them. I think like shotgun chess, I think was one of them. I
there's
got a
that
couple
one.
of
There's
others as well.
Pawnbarian,
Yes, this I remember.
Usurper, the Ouroboros King. There's a
Oh,
few.
man.
There's a few different like chess roguelikes.
Yeah, they're cool. That's a cool concept.
What else do I have as far as puzzle games? I don't play a ton of puzzle games.
Well, I got if you want to play a gorgeous one, now I have to go look it up because my brain is really bad, and I always just like put simple words the wrong way together in my head. It's like the Isles of Sea and Sky. Yeah.
Oh, did you ever play Blueprints?
I saw that one and it didn't pull me in. Nah. It's all the rage right now, right?
It came out fairly recently, and it's a puzzle game. It's kind of a roguelike puzzle game. It's not bad.
I don't know, something about it it made me feel like I wouldn't enjoy it that much, or
That's fair.
well, the thing with me is that like I do like games. I mean, who doesn't? But like I also have this feeling when I play games that I should be doing something else, and that something else is making music. So like I struggle to like pick up a game and play it these days because I've started writing music again. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so as much as like all these games sound super interesting and stuff, I'm kind of like, I should be doing that other thing.
I kind of know what you mean. I've got a bunch of stuff around the house that I've been trying to do. So I live in a house that has a finished basement, right?
Ooh.
Carpeted and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice. So like,
the thing is, the basement is essentially just a storage room right now,
yeah,
and it's chaos. Like it's horrible. There are boxes and random stuff just like everywhere, right? So my goal at some point over the course of this year is to clear out all of that stuff and get it organized, and then turn that into a music room.
oh, a music man as well.
Oh yeah. I want to put a drum set down there. Put
Oh,
some
this is
guitar stuff down there, and then a keyboard.
You're gonna get all the encouragement from me, Wells.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been playing, man. So, my mom is a choir director, right?
Yeah.
My dad was a singer-songwriter. So when I grew up, my parents were like, "You will be in choir, and you will be in band, and you will like it, and you don't have a choice," right? So, and I did admittedly like it. So I've been in choir and/or band since I was in like first grade. I've been doing music stuff since I was like able to speak, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So do you know theory then, music theory?
Some, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm starting to learn music theory, and it's just
Mhm.
like all of it is just like, oh, so that's what that is. Oh, that's what that is. You know, like it's just like, oh, well, everything's now got like a language to go along with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I can write music, but it's all just like self-taught, just by like listening and.
I'm
whatever.
kind of the same way. I'm a much more sort of like hands-on
Yes.
sort of person
Yeah.
when it comes to music. Like, if you give me a piece of sheet music and like a half an hour with a piano, you know, if you're like, here's your vocal part, these are your notes, like I can sit down at the piano and I can like kind of eventually figure out what the right notes are and stuff like that. But I'm not someone where like, if you give me, I don't know, Mozart's Fifth Symphony, here's the piano part, like I won't be able to sit down and like play it or even really know what it's supposed to sound like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, you should with the basement, like maybe just try and gamify it a little bit in your mind. Like when you got like a chore, I feel like it's good if you pair it with something interesting like a podcast, or like you line up a reward for yourself, you know, like, hey, if I get this thing done today, then I'll treat myself to pizza or whatever, right? Like
1 beer per box.
there you go.
What I really need to do, like a lot of the boxes that are down there are just empty boxes from when we moved.
Yeah.
So what I really need to do is just burn like a lot of it, right?
Take
Just
it
have, like,
outside first.
Exactly. Well, and the basement's right next to the garage, so I can literally just take it out through the garage and throw it into a fire pit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the problem is that like the stuff that does have things in it that I want to keep, I gotta find a place to put them.
Right,
it's like,
because yeah.
You know,
So
like-
then,
like they
then
need
you
to
got to go
somewhere.
upstairs, and then you got to rummage through all the other stuff in the house to get rid of that stuff. So stuff you want to keep from the basement goes somewhere. Yeah, I've done a tiny bit of rummaging myself the last couple of days, and it's a similar sort of thing. It's like I'm finding stuff here, but now I need to move this thing around and that thing around, and I'm trying to clear out space in my garage so I can park
It's
my
just
car.
it's a very daunting task. It is much better than it was a few months ago. A few months ago, it was like there was a walkway from the staircase that leads down to the basement to the door that leads into the laundry room and then into the garage. And that was like the entirety of available floor space.
So you have been chipping away at it.
I have been chipping away
Oh, that's
at
good.
it. It's just very slow going because there's
Yeah.
just so much stuff. Like,
Oh, you'll get there. You know, you just got to
Yep.
keep chipping away.
we'll get there eventually. And then there's the garage, which is filled with like pallets and random stuff. Like
Yep.
my ex-wife was she was very like, I'm going to get these things and I'm going to turn them into a project, right? I'm going to get a bunch of
Right.
old pallets and turn them into a garden box. I'm going to get, which is like
And then-
great.
and then the
all.
thing never
problem is
happens.
it's like when that project never happens, and then you're just left with like 24 pallets. It's like, what am I going to do with these? You know?
Yeah. I don't do stuff like that. I kind of know myself. Like, I know I'm probably not. One thing I've got is a build your own guitar kit, and it's just sat there for
sure.
like 10 years. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to throw that one away though, because I love guitars. I feel like one day if I did, I'd have an extra guitar. Like, that's great, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that kind of person, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm not actually sure where my electric guitar is.
Dude, you gotta grab that thing, blow the
It's
dust off of
probably
it,
in.
give it
It's
a jam.
probably in my basement, to be honest. I haven't touched my electric guitar in many years because I mostly play acoustic.
Yeah.
Like I've got 2 relatively nice acoustics that I play, you know, fairly regularly. But my electric, I just haven't touched it in ages. It's like an Ibanez electric.
Oh, an Ibanez man.
Yep, it's an Ibanez Jet King.
Dude, I gotta look this up. Jet King.
Yeah, I think it's the JTK2.
All right, well, slow down. Ibanez Jet King, and then the letters and the numbers.
I think it's just if you just search for Ibanez JTK2. Here we go. I'll send you a Discord.
J. Oh, okay, that'll do.
message.
That'll do.
It looks. Oh, that's right. It doesn't take WebMP in Discord.
Oh yeah, those images.
Here.
Dude, I found
Copy.
pictures of it. Yeah, this is a wild looking guitar.
Yeah, it's the one that looks very like.
Is this from like the 70s?
70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it looks. It's not actually that old, but it has that kind of aesthetic to it.
Yeah. Dude, when I was in Japan, I saw in the music shop that I went into that they had a Snow White ESP Vulture, which is a like James Hetfield guitar, a classic one.
Mhm.
And it was like 30% cheaper than you'd buy here in the UK. Maybe even more than that. It was like, it cost like $1,000, whereas you buy it over here, it was like $2,000. I couldn't believe it. I would have brought that in a
Yeah.
heartbeat if I found it that cheap over here. In a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
I think that Ibanez was like 300 something. I want to say it was like $200-$300 when I bought
When
it.
did you buy it though?
I would have been 16, so probably 20 years almost.
Dude, that was probably like pretty hefty back then for a guitar, right?
Not really. I mean,
No?
it was still a relatively entry-level guitar.
I got my first guitar maybe 22 years ago, and it cost I think £100 with an amp included, a very small amp, and it was it was literally a like entry beginner's guitar, first hand, but like 100 quid.
Yeah,
total.
I think the Squire Strat was about 150 at the time.
Yeah. See, I think 300.
And that would be like your true entry-level guitar. So like the Ibanez that I have was like a little bit of a step up above that, but not by a huge margin.
Yeah. I think the second guitar I got probably cost 200 or 300.
Yeah, my second guitar. Well, actually, my very first guitar was a Washburn acoustic that was just a hand-me-down,
Yeah.
and it was kind of a piece of junk, but like it played notes. It was very much like a campfire guitar, right? Like you can take it on the road, you can take it to a party, you can take it wherever you want, you can beat it up, and nobody cares because it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was that kind of guitar. And then I got the Ibanez, and then after that I got a Blue Ridge, which is an acoustic. It's basically a Chinese knockoff of a Martin OM45, which is a really nice and really expensive guitar. But this is like, as I said, a Chinese knockoff of it. Sounds great, and it's absolutely beautiful, but it's not worth nearly as much as a Martin. And then my most recent guitar, and the one that I play the most, is my Gibson. I have a Canadian-made Gibson.
Nice.
Acoustic that I play quite often.
Yeah, my collection's mostly Ibanez's. Like, that's just, you know, what works for me. So I don't have a Fender or anything like that.
Well, I actually worked at a guitar shop for a while.
Oh, nice.
So, which is, you know, it was a fun job. It was really cool. The problem is that, like, when you like guitars and you work in a guitar store, it's sometimes really easy to see a guitar that you like and that you think is really reasonably priced, and then just bring it home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're going to see those bargains come through the door, and you'll be like,
exactly.
I should get that.
Like you're surrounded by
I
them,
should
and
get
you're
this
like,
one.
ooh, I like that one. Oh, that's actually a really good deal on that. Yeah, I'll just buy this one myself. And then you just kind of accumulate.
But dude, you
guitars.
could pick up and play them and know what you're getting a bit more, because I've brought guitars, and like some of them I played before I brought and whatnot. But I ordered a cheap Ibanez model just because like I wanted one extra guitar for particular tuning. And it turned out to be like one of the most solid guitars I've got for harmonics. Like the harmonics on it are fantastic. Yet it's like the cheapest out of all the guitars I've got. And
I mean, the coolest thing about that job, honestly, was the ability to sit down when it was 1 second. To sit down when it was slow and just pick a random guitar off the wall. Probably one that I will never be able to afford.
yeah,
And just play it. You know, like I can pull like a $5,000 Gibson off the wall at the store and just play,
so
and then put it back when I'm done.
how do you feel
realistically.
as someone who's probably played quite a few of those? Do you really think there's that much value? Let's say, you know, you can get a guitar for £400 or £500 that's really solid for playing. How's it compare when you 10x the price?
Yes, I'd say it's worth it, and it's not. It depends on the guitar. The thing is, if you get like an American-made Gibson or an American-made Martin or an American-made Taylor, right? If you get one of those that's worth, you know, that has a sticker tag of $4,000 or whatever, as long as you keep it, as long as you take care of it, you know, and you're conscious of humidity and all that, and then you don't bang it up, it's gonna grow in value.
Yeah,
So-
I understand that, but like in terms of playing, like
As far as playing go, man, it's so hit or miss. I've played $800 guitars that sound like $4,000 guitars,
yeah,
and I've played $4,000 guitars that sound like $300 guitars.
yep,
Like it really just depends. Now, I will say generally, a high-end Martin or Gibson is going to sound a lot better than a high-end Alvarez or Ibanez or something along those lines, right? Like, usually if you're buying a really nice high-end Gibson, like Gibson knows what they're doing.
Yeah, you can also say what for, because I play metal. I'm quite conscious that I'm like distorting any sound that comes out of the guitar to begin with. So
yeah,
they end up all sounding quite similar.
It's much less applicable to electrics, because electrics are more about the pickups than they are about the wood. Like with an acoustic, it's very much about like the wood, the actual type of wood that's being used, how thin the sides are, how thin the top is, because that all affects the sound significantly, right? Whereas with an electric, it's more like you have a block of wood and you've got pickups, and the sound quality is really more about the strings you're using and the types of pickups, the actual electronics that are in it.
Yeah, it's very true.
That makes a lot more of a difference. I think a cheap electric is way more likely to sound like a high-end electric when compared to like acoustics. A cheap acoustic is usually going to sound like a cheap acoustic. I think
makes a lot of sense.
To get like a really good sounding acoustic, I think bare minimum you're looking at probably like $800 to get one that sounds like a really good one. And that's usually going to be something that's like a Guild or a Blue Ridge that's made overseas, but is basically just copying the specs of a high-end Gibson or Martin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice. I've played some really nice guitars that sound incredible for less than $1,000.
Yeah, I've not played much at the guitar store, but I did deliberately pick up a couple of pricey ones, and I couldn't really feel much of a difference between that and some of the others. But then again, like you worked at the guitar store, right? You know what you're looking for more.
Yep. And as I said, it's way more applicable with acoustics than it is with electrics.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense.
Like you'll definitely notice a difference. It's kind of funny, like Taylor's Taylor acoustics are really highly thought of, and they're generally pretty expensive. I actually don't like Taylors at all. I think I've played maybe like 2 Taylors ever that I actually liked.
Yeah, my guitar spectrum is very limited. It's like Ibanez and guitars that James Hetfield has played. That's about it.
Yep.
That's where my knowledge starts and ends.
I've always been a sucker for Gibsons and Martins. Like that big, the thing with Gibsons and Martins, at least as far as acoustics goes, they have this really like kind of big bassy feel that really sort of fills a room. Like they have a lot of like, the sound has a lot of girth, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have a very full, they have like this very full sound, which I love. And the thing with Taylors is they're generally very bright. And I like that sort of darker, bassier sound that you get from a Gibson or a Martin. Whereas like a Taylor just feels very bright and sort of thin to me.
Speaking of like bass and low end noise, I got an 8-string guitar.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. I only play like 1 or 2 songs on it though. Oh dude, I've been using this thing called Songster, and it makes it so easy to find songs in a particular tuning. I need to go on there and look up stuff on my 8-string. Because like in the past, I'm just trying to like research bands to find who plays in what tuning, and then I've done stuff like Ask ChatGPT, which sometimes give you an answer and sometimes it hallucinates, and then like years of like trying to figure out like the optimal way to play guitar, and like this website Songster has just got everything I want. Sort by band, all the tabs on it are amazing, and then you can sort by tuning, and so like I've just been finding loads of songs, and now on my guitars, like I can play so many more songs because it's just that bit of knowledge, right?
16? You ever played a 16-string?
I think when I was really young, we used to go to the guitar store when I first got one, and I think I played one then, but I'm not sure. But they like double up the strings, right? when there's that many.
Yep. It's basically the same as a standard guitar, except there are 2 strings for every one, and they're just an octave apart.
Yeah, so like
your low E is also a high E, and your high E is also an even higher E.
oh, so how close are they together though? Like, are they going to hit each other when you strum them, like when they're vibrating? No.
No, they're close enough that you don't have to like relearn finger positions and stuff like that. But they're far enough apart where it doesn't cause a problem. It feels just like playing a regular guitar. It just gives you a slightly different sound because everything's doubled.
I'm looking it up now. The 16-string guitar. I'm seeing some people with like double-necked guitars.
Yep, those are out there as well.
Oh, the way the strings are like next to each other is so weird. Dude, the double. Have you seen that guy who plays like the quad guitar or whatever it's called, like 4 necks, and he like spins them around while he's playing?
Oh, yep.
What's his name?
I can't remember for the life of me.
Dude looks like a total 80s glam metal guy.
Yep.
Michelangelo Battiop or Batio? That's the guy. That's definitely the guy.
That sounds right.
Dude's just like a monster shredder, and like can like do the fretboard with both hands. That is some craft right there to teach yourself how to play like left and right handed.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever want to feel bad about yourself, like look up videos of like child prodigies. You know,
dude,
I am not
one of these
nothing
people.
Like getting out shredded by like a 6-year-old.
I am not one of these people that gets demotivated by stuff like that. It inspires me.
I think it's awesome, honestly, but it is, wow,
yeah.
This 6-year-old is better than people I know who've been playing for 40 years. You know,
that is funny. Yeah, that is funny. But dude, that just like gets me going when I see stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Now I want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss my drum set, man. I sold my drum set many years ago, because I was moving, and the thing is, the drum set would take up like half of a U-Haul by itself.
Yeah, they're bulky. Dude, look into electronic drum kits, right? Because when I got mine,
Never liked them.
Here's the thing. When I got mine like 15 years ago, they were just starting to go through this transformation where they were actually getting like quite classy. I don't know how to describe it really, but they went from being like a bit of a toy to being something more like you could actually play as a part of a band. And these days, I've looked at some of the kits they do today. There's some really good quality stuff, and you can fold them away, and they're much more like compact. You know, and portable.
They make good ones. I'd still rather just have a traditional drum set. Like I had a 10-piece Pearl set, double bass drums, rototoms,
nice,
all the cymbals. Like it was, when I say it would take half of a U-Haul, I mean quite literally.
I know, yeah, they're big.
Half of the U-Haul. It was.
Can you do the double pedals like the?
Yep.
Like.
Yep. It had double kick pedals.
I love that.
It was, you know, the thing is, as I said, I used to work in a guitar store, right? That drum set came into the guitar store, and someone traded it in to put money towards a guitar they were buying, right?
Interesting.
So the owner of the guitar store had this drum set come in. Well, he was a guitar. It's a guitar shop. It's not a music shop. It's a guitar shop, right? So he had this drum set taking up all this floor space, and he's like, "Hey Cole, you play drums, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Tell you what, if you want this drum set, I'll give it to you for what we paid for it." I was like, "Done." So I got that drum set for like $500.
Nice.
And
Dang.
it was worth like 3 times that.
Yeah.
Like, it was
easy.
It was a steal. And I had that thing all the way through high school, college. I mean, I got my money's worth out of that drum set.
Dude,
sure.
I got boxes full of egg cartons for like one day. In the future, I'm gonna have a room that's just got a drum kit in it and all that soundproofing. I reckon when I get that drum kit, I'm just gonna be like, I should have done this years ago.
a fellow member of the Egg Carton Soundproofing Club.
Yes. Have you got a few boxes of those?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
if I were to
awesome.
turn on my,
That's what you can do in your
every now
basement,
and again,
right?
I'll take a. No, it's actually in my office. In my office here, there's, I've got some acoustic foam and stuff, but I also just have egg cartons on the walls.
Yeah.
So anytime I take a picture that ends up on social media, people will be like, "Are those egg cartons?"
Dude, should you
Yeah, they
spray
work
them with
pretty well.
anything? Because they're like a bit of a fire hazard.
No, I don't. They're just regular old cardboard egg
Yeah.
cartons. I mean, the thing is, like, they're just hanging on the wall. They're not really next to anything that could catch fire.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really feel the need. Like,
Yeah.
I'm there's plenty of other stuff in this office that could catch fire first.
Like
So. I mean,
the box of fireworks that's
Yep.
next to the box of candles.
yeah, pretty much.
that are
I mean,
lit.
like, we had an athlete in the U.S. during COVID who was talking about how he was unvaccinated.
Oh,
And
okay.
he said in a press conference, "If I die, I die." And I'm like, you know what? Those are words to live by right there. I may not agree with his stance, but like at the same time, if I die, I die. It makes sense to me.
It's a bold statement.
It's kind of how I'm like with the whole fire hazard in my office thing. It's like, if it goes up in flames, it goes up in flames.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, is it?
If
Little
if
house
I
fire?
die, I die. Exactly. It'll be fine.
I was just looking at the time. I don't think False mentioned the meeting. We don't have a meeting today.
I don't think we do. No.
Dude, the amount of times I get like the meeting in my head. It's a meeting today. And then like I later on then find out, oh, it's not today.
Well, I think part of it is that we keep switching back and forth every now and again
Yeah.
between weekly and bi-weekly.
We should just make it weekly. I like
yes and
everyone's
no.
company.
I agree with that, but it's also kind of nice to have bi-weekly stuff too. Where you're
True,
just, like,
true.
Because there are definitely some meetings where you're just like sitting there and you're like, this is a lot of stuff that I don't care about,
True. I know. I mean, sometimes we talk about stuff that isn't the most, I don't know, pressing or whatever. But I kind of like hanging out with everyone for an hour or
that's
two.
true.
Every
I mean,
week.
the thing is, like, a lot of pretty much at any given meeting, they're gonna, as we go through the topics, those topics usually aren't gonna apply to everybody, right? Like, they'll be, say we're planning on implementing, or we want to talk about putting in a new data pack.
I do just want to quickly acknowledge people
maybe a third
coming
of
in with the
servers never
subscriptions and
actually
stuff,
gonna
and a
use that
donation
data
as well.
pack,
I will
right? So then that third of the servers
read all of this
sitting
out
there
in a
okay,
while.
when do we get to the next topic? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where no matter what the topic is, there's probably going to be at least a couple people within the group that are very indifferent or don't care about that particular topic.
Yeah. But hey, we've been discussing some big stuff lately. Can't say anything about it, but cool things going on, right?
Oh, my dog brought me his squeak toy.
Oh,
Here's Squeak.
good doggy.
Here you go, buddy. He's a goof. He's a 70-pound lap dog.
Aw. I've been walking my sister's dog a lot more lately. Now that it's like
yeah.
good weather, it's funny because, like, she. I feel like there's a term for this, but like you turn up on a nice day to walk the dog, you get all the good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it totally works for her, so I'm really happy. Like if it's a really nice sunny day for a walk, I turn up, I take him for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's he's about 2 years. He's a little over 2 years old at this point because I've had him about a year and a half, and he was 8 months old when I got him.
Yeah.
And he's.
You said he
he's
was
great,
73
honestly.
pounds, right?
Yeah, he's about 70 pounds. He's a black lab.
So I'm just trying to do the math in my head. With pounds to kilograms, do you multiply it by 2.2 or divide it by 2.2?
Let's just ask Google. 70 pounds.
Be wary.
To kg.
Be wary of
It
the
is
AI answer.
31.75
Oh,
pounds.
that's a heavy doggy.
Or kilograms. 31.75 kilograms.
Okay, that's a big dog.
Yeah, he's pretty big. He's not like ridiculously oversized, right? Like there are some dogs that are truly massive. He's not that big, but he's definitely big enough where like he's strong. He, you know, if you're not prepared, he can walk you instead of you walking him. You know what I mean?
I see that
Like,
every now and then. When you're out and
yeah,
about,
he's-
like you see someone being walked by their dog. It's funny.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
He's big enough that he could almost walk me if he wanted to. I mean, like honestly, he's well trained and he's really good on a leash, so I don't have a problem with that. But he's big enough that if he wanted to pull me, he could.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's a lap dog. He thinks he weighs about 10 pounds. So he'll like, you know, you'd be like sitting on the couch watching TV or something like that, and he'll just like crawl up and sit on your lap. And you're there going like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a little big for this. You know,
Dang.
But,
How,
but
like,
like he's
at 2 years old though, like when do they stop growing?
right around. It varies by breed, but he's done growing at this point.
Yeah.
He stopped somewhere between like 1.5 to 2 years.
Dang.
He was about, I want to say he was like 40 pounds when I got him at 8 months. And then when he got his first checkup at like a year, he was about 55, maybe 60 pounds. And then when he got another checkup a year later, he was 70. And that was just a month or two ago.
Dang, that's wild.
But he's probably done growing at this point. And
Yeah.
he's not like overweight or anything like that. He's a very healthy weight for a dog of his breed.
I'm trying to think how heavy my sister's dog is, because I can pick him up very comfortably and hold him and carry him.
What kind of dog is it?
Cavapoo. So like
Oh, so probably like
toy poodle mixed with a King
probably
Charles.
Like 10 pounds, maybe 20 at most.
I was thinking he probably weighs about 7 kilograms. But the thing is, with like a dog, like a moving object, and like it's not like it's just a dumbbell, right? Like the size, it kind of distorts the feeling of the heaviness, because you got to like finagle your arms and hold on to them and stuff. So it's like it feels like it's a bit obscured. But yeah, I reckon around 7 or 8 kilograms, probably more like
so
8.
it'd be probably about 20 pounds would be my guess. Somewhere around there, which sounds about right. That's pretty light.
I want to get some sort of like carry thing for him, so when we go traveling and we go on long hikes for a couple of hours, he can't do that kind of distance. So I want to get like a doggy backpack or something for him at some point.
Sure. It's actually funny. His best friend is my neighbor's dog, who's a Shih Tzu, and that dog is like the size of his head. Like it's like you've got Riley, this fairly large black lab. His BFF is this little dog that's like as big as his head. And
that's so cute.
Yeah, they're if you put those two together in a backyard, they will play for hours. Like they have a great time. But yeah, it's hilarious. Like his dog weighs, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds. Like
yeah. Yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, don't they?
Yep.
I've seen a
few.
really big dog. I can't remember what breed it was, but there's one in this particular part of town. I can't describe to you how big this dog is. Like, I think if I laid down, like I'm 6 foot tall, I think if I laid down next to it, it would probably be about the same length as me, right? And it is big and shabby. It's got a massive fur coat on it. It just looks like an enormous blob that could swallow a person.
Yeah, one of my old military buddies had a male Irish wolfhound.
Oh.
Those are truly huge.
Dude,
dogs.
I got to get the old image search up. Irish wolfhound.
Yeah, that dog weighed like 170 pounds, which I guess kilograms, that'd probably be like 70 kilograms, 80 kilograms maybe. Like that dog was huge.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like when we have these little chats and stuff, I should have like a web browser open on my screen on my stream even. People can just sit. Like, there's this woman crouching next to this dog, and it is like as tall as her when she's sort of on her knees. That's crazy tall. Oh my god. Oh, there's a picture of one standing on his back legs, taller than a guy. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're big dogs.
And I bet they're absolutely lovable, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a great dog for sure. Super friendly, super nice, just really large. And like the thing with Riley, my lab, is that he's not actually that big. He's just built. He's just really, muscular.
Yeah.
So like size wise, he's not really any bigger than my border collie was. And my border collie was 40 pounds, half his weight. Like he's about the same size as she was. He's just way more built. He's just a lot stronger.
Have you ever seen that absolutely jacked looking dog that's got like this muscularity disease where the body just tries to build muscle constantly?
Mm-hmm.
And like they look absolutely shredded. It's crazy.
Yep. Well, and there are some dogs that even without any sort of muscularity, like they'll look like that as well. If you look at
I've seen a few
bully breeds. You look at a lot of the bully breeds or a lot of the dogs that are used for like protection. Like your Connie Corsos and stuff. Like some of those dogs are like.
I've seen some.
They look like they look like they're like they skip leg day. They're just absolutely built. Like,
yeah.
Some of those dogs are crazy strong, and like that's the thing is Riley, he's strong enough that he can kind of pull me, but he's not strong enough that if I don't want him to, he could. There are some dogs out there that could legitimately pull me, and there's nothing I could do about it because they're just that strong.
Yeah, I've seen some of those dogs. I've seen some of them about. It always feels like they're like walked by smaller people, I guess, but it's probably the fact that they're being pulled about that like makes them look a little smaller. If that makes sense.
Some of it, a lot. One thing that I've come to realize that there's a lot of dog owners out there who are just not very good dog owners. Like they just don't train their dog. At all.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
They kind of they're like, oh yeah, we did an obedience class when he was a puppy, and that was his training. And like he never comes when he's called, but it's fine. And like, he pulls me when we go for walks, but it's okay. And like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of dog owners out there who just don't really ever bother to train their dog properly.
Yeah, I know.
So,
dude,
like,
I'm like Googling some of the names my chat are giving me. There's this one here called a Cane Corso. This is a mean looking dog.
Yep.
Mean looking.
Yep. I've heard it pronounced Cane Corso. I've heard it pronounced Cane Corso as well. That's the one I was talking about before. They're used a lot as guard dogs.
Yeah, I need to use my chat's collective power here to come up with a name of a dog breed. Right, I really want to get this. Like a dog that's big but like really shabby to the point where it kind of looks like a big block, and then its face is not aggressive. It's how would you describe different dog faces?
Is it like very fluffy?
Definitely fluffy.
Could be like a Bernese mountain dog.
I feel like its face is like not particularly cute or friendly. It's also like just not aggressive. It's more of a neutral kind of looking thing.
Like
I also have a feeling it has the name of a country attached to it.
A Newfoundland, maybe?
Dude, it might be.
Could be a Newfoundland.
Yo, this is it. This is totally it. Oh my god, that's the one. Dude, its face is like that movie with the dog, and I forget Beethoven. Is it Beethoven?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, there's one of these in the neighborhood, and like it's just got the biggest photo of Kerr around.
I think Beethoven was a Saint Bernard.
Oh, a Saint Bernard. Okay.
I want to say Beethoven was a Saint Bernard. It's been a long time since I've seen those movies.
Yeah, you're right. Sure. Actually, it's in the movie. It's a Saint Bernard. The dog that I've seen is definitely a Newfoundland. It also it rings the bell because I had heard the name before, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Dude, I'm having a fun time just looking at dog pictures right now.
I'm with you 100%. I love.
An Ibetan Mastiff. This thing looks wild.
Yep. Or another very large dog.
All right, challenge for chat. Like, what is the strangest looking dog we can come up with? You know,
Pugs, probably.
pugs. Yeah. There's so many animals in the world. Like, when you go traveling somewhere or whatever, you learn about like a bunch of animals from that region. There's just so many. You can always encounter new and interesting ones. It feels like, dude, pugs. What the heck?
I think if we're talking just strictly looks, my favorite is probably like a Merle Australian Shepherd.
Okay, Merle Australian Shepherd. How do I spell that? Merle.
Merle. Which is just the coat pattern. The breed is the Australian Shepherd, but they have a couple of different essential coat patterns. The Merle
that's
ones are
sweet.
just absolutely beautiful dogs.
Yeah,
They're so
little
pretty.
sweetheart. They have
The
some
thing about them is
creepy-looking eyes,
they're also crazy high energy. So like you need
Oh.
a certain lifestyle in order to be a good Australian Shepherd owner, because they're herding dogs. So they were bred basically to work nonstop from dawn till dusk.
Yo, you
And
gotta
if you just have them living in suburbia, like good luck.
look up the Commodore dog.
Commodore?
Oh my god, this thing is literally like a floor mop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not my favorite look. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of I'm simple. I love my labs and I love my retrievers. Those are my two favorite as far as breeds that I'd actually want to own.
Dude, if
Labs
I
and
ever have a dog on
retrievers,
my
can't
own
go
one
wrong.
day, it's gotta be Shadow from what's the Disney movie? Homeward Bound. I need Shadow. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I get him raided
uh,
here.
Which I think Shadow is just a golden retriever, I think.
Let's type it in. Golden Retriever.
Yeah. Yep, just a golden
Yeah,
retriever.
that's it.
Yep. Honestly, labs and retrievers are like the absolute best family dogs. If you
Yeah.
ask me. They're really easy to train. They're almost always really like mellow tempered and have a good disposition. They're capable of being energetic and playing and having fun, but also they know when to turn it off. They're generally really gentle with like kids and other pets. Like they're such good family dogs.
Yeah.
Like
They
you
look
can't
so
go wrong.
friendly. Before my sister got a dog, like dogs were, I don't know, like I was sort of distant from them, but like once you're around dogs, you kind of get that whole man's best friend thing, and now you look at them all like, oh, they'd just be great friends to have.
Yep, labs and retrievers. And it's funny too, they all have every dog has its own little like quirks and personality things, right? Like Riley's a good example. Riley sleeps in the bed with me, right? He has a ritual that he does every night when we go to bed where he will burrow under the covers and he'll spin around a few times before laying down, and then there's just this lump underneath the blankets where he is. Like every single night he does the same. It's just little quirks like that that are just really like endearing and adorable.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yo, Dachshunds. I feel like I've
Yep.
heard that one before.
Yep, Dachshunds, Dachshunds, Wiener
Oh,
dogs. They're all
I love these little
different names
ones.
for the same things. Yep, they're all. My grandpa actually had.
It's like a sausage
dachshund.
dog.
Yep, Wiener dogs.
Oh, of course,
They're
Wiener
known as-
sausage.
Yep, also known as Dachshunds. They have a lot of different names, but they're all the same dog. I just realized I accidentally fell down.
How'd you get down there?
I fell.
But like, from where?
Here, I think
Did
we
you
can-
go into Cleo's?
I
Or did-
don't know. I just kind of fell, and now I don't remember how to get back.
I think I know what way you went. Oh, you're back there now.
Here we go. I think I figured it out. Maybe.
I mean, I was watching Cleo the other day in here, and she seemed to struggle to navigate, and now you're stuck up above me. I mean, I built this thing, so I know where the paths are, but...
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think...
There you go.
I think I found it. This is it right here, right?
Yay.
Yeah, this is my spot. Cool. Yeah. But my grandpa owned, man, 10 dachshunds over the course of the last 20 years or so.
Nice.
Like, you'd go to visit him, and there'd just be little dachshunds, dachshunds, wiener dogs, whatever you want to call them, just running around all over the place. Like, he loved those little dogs.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a dog of my own one day. It's just...
They're great. Honestly, I couldn't imagine life without it. In fact, I made it a grand total of like 2 days without a dog in the house.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I totally get that.
So when I got divorced, we agreed that my old dog would go with her, right? Because she moved to a place out in the country. And that dog is a border collie who's like meant to be a herding dog.
Yeah, it's better for the dog.
So like, I guarantee Remy, the dog, is like 1,000 times happier living out in the country and being on a farm every day.
I bet he misses you though, right?
I'm sure she does, but like, I'm sure she's having way more fun out there than she would with me.
Yeah.
But I made it like a grand total of 2 days without a dog in the house where I was like, I can't do this. And I went and got Riley. Like, that day. I like went to the Humane Society or the shelter or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, I'm looking for a dog. Brought him home that same day. Had him ever since. Like, I just couldn't. It like when you're so used to walking into the front door and having the dog come to greet you and like just constantly being around, and then suddenly there's just nothing there. You're like, it's way too quiet.
Yeah,
you just get used to it, and then it's really abnormal.
Totally get that.
But he's good. He's kind of a klutz. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he's run into a door frame, or he'll do this thing where he'll like run into the bedroom and he'll jump up on the bed, and then his momentum will slide him like all the way across the blankets and he'll come down the other side.
Classic. Oh my god.
Fall off.
Sounds like a movie dog, you know?
Oh
it's
yeah.
a bit in a scene.
Yeah, he's kind of a klutz, but he's a sweetheart. He's good. He's just curled up at my feet right now, taking a snooze.
Here's a thing with dogs and me, like getting to know them and realizing they're man's best friend. I got bit by a dog before I went to New York, which would be just about 2 years ago, right? And that has actually put me a little bit on edge. Like,
sure.
There was a period before that when, like, I'd go out and, like, anytime I'd see a dog, I'd now sort of know, like, oh, you can lean down and pet them and they're happy to see you. And then since I got bit, I feel a bit on edge every now and then, especially if it's like a similar sized dog to the one that bit me. You just got that response to trauma, I mean, basically.
The thing is, like, you gotta think about it from the dog's perspective, right? Like, imagine you were just walking down the street and someone came up and got all up in your personal space and then started like touching you. Like someone you'd never met before, you'd be freaked out, right?
Well, with dogs, like, you read their body language, right? Like, if a dog is not interested in me, like, I'm not gonna go pet it. But like, if one comes up to me and starts sniffing and stuff, and I like crouch down and they look at you, like, I feel like you can make that connection and start petting it, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's hard to say without like actually seeing the dog's body language, like, because there's so many like subtle signals that a dog will give you if you don't know what you're looking for. But like, fun fact, dogs actually don't like being touched on top of the head.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's not true of my sister's dog.
Well,
that's one of his favorite spots. His tail wags hard.
Yep. Dogs will learn to tolerate it, and dogs will eventually learn to even like it. After enough conditioning, right? It's just like basic psychology. Essentially, they'll learn that, like, oh, if they're scratching me on top of my head, it means that I was a good boy. And I'm probably.
I mean, my sister's dog, like, will, if I don't pat him on the head and stuff, he will burrow his head into my leg and start like pushing it around and stuff.
But like, naturally, dogs don't like being touched on top of the head.
Interesting. The spot I go for with him is under his mouth, like under the jaw, and then further down, like above the belly.
Usually under the chin, behind the ears, and then like chest and belly. They love.
Yeah,
that's usually fine. It's just like specifically on top of the head can rub a lot of dogs the wrong way. But there's a lot of stuff too. There's like eye contact can freak a dog out. Smiling can freak a dog out. Like you're showing teeth. Like there's a lot of things that we do as humans as like normal, happy, friendly things that in dog world is like not nice.
And smiling, you reckon?
It's very like rude. Well, yeah, because you're showing your teeth at them.
Oh, okay.
You know, now dogs have learned to be really good at reading human body language for the most part. So, you know, if you smile at a dog, it doesn't instantly mean that they're going to think you're trying to, you know, threaten
It's a
them or
mixed
whatever.
message. It's like the human is smiling, but also its body language says it's happy to see me. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're doing that with an unfamiliar dog, you know, they can sometimes behave in a way that you don't want them to, because they're like, oh, he's baring his teeth at me.
Yeah.
Right? He's baring his fangs. He's
I
trying
imagine
to scare me off.
I imagine this is probably more of a problem with like tempered dogs, because my sister's dog is just the most passive, like hasn't ever done anything aggressive in his entire life. Dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very hit or miss, and it's not even like a breed specific thing. It's very dog specific. You'll have dogs who are like the most wonderful, sweet, mellow, friendly dogs that you'll ever meet, and then you'll have dogs where like if you so much as look in their direction, they'll lose their minds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it all just depends. And there's a lot of things that go into it: genetics, history, socialization when they were a puppy, their experiences throughout their life, blah 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 blah. Right? The list goes on and on and on. But
My
dogs were something that I spent a lot of time learning a lot about, because I've owned dogs with reactivity issues. So I had to learn a lot of stuff about dog body language and training and all this other kind of stuff. So I know a little bit about dogs. A little bit more than most people do. Oh, quiet, buddy.
And how to talk to them.
Oh, boy. And how to talk to them.
Dude, my favorite thing to do with my sister's dog is if I lay down on the ground, he gets really excited and runs over to me and starts like licking my face and licking my ears, and then I just naturally like sort of shield away and stuff, and then he like persists and starts climbing on top of you. It's so funny. It's something about you going down to his level that he just loves.
He'll do the same thing, Riley. It's actually funny. Like I don't do gyms when it comes to working out.
Do you work out from home?
I work out at home.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like, good luck trying to do push-ups when Riley's around.
Oh.
Because he'll just like he'll be like, "Oh, you're down at my level. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna like get on you, and I'm gonna go under you, and you're like trying to do push-ups or sit-ups or something, and you just got this dog like crawling all over you."
Yeah, I had to look after him the other day and do a workout, and I was kind of worried before. It's like, how's he gonna react? But he was like totally disinterested when I was like lifting dumbbells and stuff around, which, you know, if they get excited around that, it's like, this is not a good time to play. I might drop this.
He's totally fine with me exercising. It's only when I actually like get on the floor to do push-ups or sit-ups or something like that
crunches
he's like,
and stuff.
You're on my level now. I'm gonna come say hi and be involved. Yeah.
Have to do your press-ups in the other room or something.
Yeah, or I just tolerate it, like, because it is kind of cute, you know.
Did you do a lot of that in the military?
Tons.
Yeah. They get you fighting fit in the military, don't they?
Yep. And the thing with the military is like, you know, they want everyone to be in good physical shape, obviously, but you're not always going to have access to a gym.
Yeah.
You know, if you deploy to Iraq, there's probably not going to be a really high quality gym there. You know. So they need to know how to give you a good workout without the use of, you know, machines and equipment and all that. So, you know, I learned how to do a very good workout with essentially just doing calisthenics, you know, push-ups, sit-ups, running,
Yeah.
flutter kicks, all this other kind of stuff. So I've just never felt the need to go to a gym, especially since then, I need to actually physically go to the gym. You know, I have to
Well, that's
pay for
part
a
of the
gym
that's part of
membership.
the exercise is getting there, right?
Not really. I mean, I'd probably have to drive to go to my
Oh,
closest
it's
one.
America, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Drive to get
yeah.
everywhere.
Yep. Like I can't just walk down the street. The nearest gym is probably about 5 miles from where I live.
Yeah, that's
Which like I could run that, but running 5 miles, doing a workout, and then running 5 miles back,
like
and that's
David
so.
Goggins level.
I mean, that would be what 32. That'd be like 16. That'd be like a 16,000 meter run, or
Yeah.
It'd be like running 16 kilometers in addition to a workout in between. Like, that's that's a little much even for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've never gone too ham with the exercise stuff like that. Like I've never done a workout on the same day as a run.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine in the military they got you doing like all sorts of like probably for hours.
Yeah, I mean, usually we would do, no matter what, every day you would do some push ups and some sit ups. You know, you would do some legs, some abs, some arms, no matter what, every day.
Yeah.
But usually it would be like you do a little bit of this, and then the majority of the time would be spent on one thing, whether it was running or whether it was, it would be cardio, it would be arms, it would be strength, it would be whatever, right? Like, you would do a little bit of everything every day, but for the most part, any given day was kind of focused on one.
That makes sense.
Major
You want
area.
to target something, don't you?
Yeah,
To
exactly.
properly
It'd
get
be
it.
like, okay, well today we're doing a 5 mile run, and that's going to be most of our, our physical fitness time.
Hmm.
And then the next day it would be like, hey, we're doing abs today. And then the day after that it'd be like, hey, we're having kind of a break day, so we're just going to play ultimate frisbee. You know.
That
And
sounds
then the
like
next day
fun.
be yeah, I mean, it wasn't that it like there were days that it was legitimately fun, and then there were days that it was awful. Where it was like, hey, we're gonna do a 12-mile ruck march today. Everyone
Ooh,
show up at 3 in the morning.
a bit of rucking.
Make sure you have 60 pounds in your rucksack, and have fun walking 12 miles.
So 60 pounds, isn't that like 30 something kilograms?
Yep, probably about 30 kilos. Somewhere
Dang.
between 25 and 30 kilos.
So I do a little bit of rucking, but I only chuck about like 7 or 8 kilograms in there
Yeah.
because I'm probably never gonna have much more than that on my back anyway. Like most I'll have on my back is like a laptop with a bunch of other stuff in there.
Yeah, well, when we did it, we had to have 60 pounds in our rucksack, but then we were also carrying a rifle, wearing full body armor with plates, and like we were wearing full battle rattle, as we called it, like all of our gear.
And how
So
long
we'd
did
be
you march for?
12 miles.
Dude,
And
how
there are
like how much did they feed you? You must have been burning off like thousands of calories.
oh, I'm sure. I mean, it was miserable. Like those were the worst days out of everything that I did in the military. It was just so
Interesting.
boring. And you would always finish with like blisters on your blisters.
Yeah.
And you'd be sore for like days afterwards. And like you'd have to be there at 3 in the morning, and you'd get done at like 7:30. And like, oh, it was
Did
was
they
awful.
did they like build you up to it or just throw you in at the deep end on that stuff?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
Theoretically, they would like slowly build up to it, but it was more like on a cycle
Right.
where like we would do a 2 mile one day, and then the next week we would do a 4 mile, and then the next week we would do an 8 mile, and the next week we would do a 12 mile, and then we go back to a 2 mile, 4 mile. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, depending on when you got there, you might just be starting with a 12 mile. You know, like it all just depends.
I say
Yeah,
it
it
seems
was.
a bit wild to go like that far and hard when you could build
Yeah,
up to
well,
it.
what it was is that the base that I was at is the home of the air assault division. which is essentially the people who rappel out of helicopters, right?
Dude, that's some.
And to go to air assault school, one of the graduation requirements is a 12-mile ruck march.
Ah.
And because that base was the air assault base, they wanted everybody to go to air assault school, even if you were in a job that had absolutely nothing to do with air assault whatsoever. They're like, "Oh, you're a finance guy, you should go to air assault school." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're a mechanic, air assault school. Doesn't make it. You're the cook, air assault school. Doesn't make any difference. Everybody goes to air assault school." So because they wanted everyone to go to air assault school and pass air assault school, they made 12-mile ruck march kind of something that everybody on the base was capable of doing. Was like their goal.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So those were miserable though. I hated ruck marching so much. It was like my least favorite. Like I would rather get gassed with tear gas than
Say what?
do
Easy
a
there.
ruck march. Like I would rather go into the CS gas chamber and get hit with a bunch of tear gas than
Picture it
do a
now.
ruck march.
Just gas me.
Yeah, if
Long
they
walk?
gave me the
Nah, just
option, I
gas me.
would. Because the thing with tear gas is that like it sucks while it's happening, but it clears up after like 10
that's
minutes.
what's funny. You're talking about tear gas, but when you say just gas me, it's like
Yeah,
it sounds.
no, I'm
a
not
lot
saying like
darker.
gas me with like nerve gas or don't kill me, but like CS gas, it's just tear gas. Like it sucks
Yeah.
while you're in it, but it clears up like 10 minutes later and you're fine.
I
Whereas,
really
like,
enjoy walking for long periods of time. I kind of want to get into trying to do that more, but 12 miles with that
well,
many
and part of the
kilograms?
problem
Oh.
too is that it's on a time crunch. It's not
Right,
just
you got to
have
keep pace.
you have to do it within 12 miles. Within, it's not just that you have to do 12 miles, it's that you have to do 12 miles within 3 hours.
Right.
So
Did
you're
you-
doing essentially a mile every 15 minutes. So that's 1.6 kilometers every 15 minutes.
That's
So like
pretty fast pace. That's like
it's a pretty fast pace. It's not quite running, but it's definitely more than just like a leisurely stroll.
yeah.
It's like a power walk / jog.
Did you
like somewhere kind of in between?
Did you like have any food while you were walking, like
Yeah,
Kendall mint
we'd
stuff?
usually bring like granola bars or
Right.
stuff like that. Stashed in our pack that we could pull out and eat and munch on along the way, stuff like that. Obviously, water, et cetera, et cetera. But
Sometimes you really need it. Like, I mean, your body's got loads of energy stored in it through fat, right? But you can't
Yeah.
just continuously burn it. Like I've been on some like really long walks and dang, you get run down. You have something like an apple and bam, you're just perked up and full of energy again.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always carry, granola bars, other little snacky things. Some people will bring trail mix, some people will bring granola bars, some people will bring, fruit, like whatever we felt like
Yeah.
bringing.
You want sugary carbs, really, I think.
Yeah, there weren't really any restrictions on it other than like we couldn't bring, alcohol,
Just get boosted up on the walk.
which is kind of a pity because like 12 miles, if I was sipping whiskey the whole time, probably would have been fine. Now that I
Yeah.
think about it, by the end of it, you'd be like, this isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
But then you had a full work day afterwards, so I get why
Ooh.
they didn't allow it.
I mean, it might make you puke. Like that kind of level of exercise while drinking. I mean,
maybe.
it's not something. I don't know. Like when I used to drink, I don't recall ever pairing it with vigorous exercise, but I can imagine that
Yeah,
like
I mean,
messing your
I
stomach.
didn't really do a lot of pairing it with vigorous exercise either. I don't know. I mean, it.
Like when
it
you go
was
out
fine.
drinking with people, like you're usually like hanging out somewhere, at a party, in a spot.
Usually, yeah,
You're not
like, I-
usually like, let's get boosted up on this massive hike we're about to do. Like, no.
Yeah, I mean,
those two things don't go together.
I drink often, but I don't drink a lot these days, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I'll have something to drink probably like 4 or 5 nights a week, but it's usually like a glass of wine or a beer, or you know what I mean? Like it's usually like one drink. If I'm drinking more than that, I'm almost certainly with friends or neighbors or something. Like I don't see the point in like drinking more than like a beer or two if you're by yourself. Like that's just depressing.
Oh. Oh. feeling that jet lag a little bit again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I got back from Japan like almost a week ago.
Oh yeah. How was Japan, by the way?
Incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
Had a good time.
yeah, beautiful country. We had a really good group. I went in a tour group, and I think having a good group of people kind of made a big difference. But
Yeah.
we were there for Japan, and the food was incredible. The place was just like it felt safe. It was clean. Um, there's just things about it that are just different, and
Cool.
different in like it feels way better. Like their public transport is just wonderfully organized and on time. You see school kids out until like 8 in the evening when it starts to get dark.
Mm-hmm.
You'll even see like kids as young as 6 just out on the street on their own. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bit of a culture shock, but like it's just the way they do things there. They've just made something kind of safer and more communal, I guess it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I was just talking about that with one of my friends just the other day. Was when I was growing up, at least in rural America, like where I grew up, in the small towns, it was very common for parents to just be like, go outside, go play, go get on your bike and go hang out with your friends, right?
Yeah, man, I'm a 90s
Even if
kid. I got to experience some of that. Like,
Yeah, even when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, like I would just have free reign to go around the town and basically do whatever I wanted,
yep.
and nobody thought twice about it. And it was the same with all the other kids in town who were my age, all three of them or whatever it was.
Yeah.
um, but like nowadays, I mean, it feels like parents are afraid to even like let their kids go out into their own yard without, being out there.
Yeah,
With
I think some of it's that, but I think it's also the prevalence of like electronic devices and doing stuff online. I think
for sure.
has
I
pulled
I
kids
think
in
that's
as
a
well.
part of it. Yeah, I would agree that's definitely a big part of it. Because it's easy to just put your kid in front of the TV or the tablet or whatever
Yeah.
and let them become a vegetable for a few hours.
Yep. What's sad
But
though is that it's hard to imagine it swinging back to how it used to be. It's like
yeah,
this is just going to evolve and continue going in this direction. And
yeah,
what was
probably
it? My
so.
dad was telling me earlier. There's some study out or something where they found that like kids these days, like a certain age range, get 60% less broken arms or like sprained arms and ankles and stuff. And that's because they're not going outside climbing trees and falling out of them, right?
That
But
doesn't surprise me at all.
then there's like a 90% health rise in like mental health issues being reported. So it's like
Yep.
that, yeah.
Although I think a huge part of that is just the awareness of mental health stuff. Like I, I
I know what you
I'm
mean.
not saying that's all of it, but I think that's a very significant portion of it.
Well, this
'Cause,
is
like,
this is where things get really complicated because you know how like every kind of like era and generation has a sort of flavor to it. And you go
hmm
back, if you ever go back and you're curious, like I'll go and watch like some BBC archives where they interview people from like the 70s, and you can see how like the language of people and the way they think and feel about stuff is just different because of the flavor of that era. When you
hmm
go back in time, there's less talk about mental health. Um, but also, I think that shapes people as well in a way where maybe they don't think about that stuff as much, and maybe they're not as uh, in themselves, if that makes sense. Like I get an impression that people in the past were more part of a community and less individualized. Like the further you go back, people are more, you know, they see themselves less as an individual. I think like individualism is quite a common and like new phenomena, if that makes sense.
I think maybe that's true to an extent. I think when it comes to the increase in like mental health stuff being reported, though, I think it's really just a cultural change around mental, like, because when I was growing up, you know, it was, you're a boy. Boys don't cry. Boys don't talk about their feelings. Boys don't, you know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
this. I mean, if you were a young male and you were depressed or you were struggling with like any sort of mental health condition, you kept that stuff to yourself and you just kind of buried it and tried to figure it out. You know what I mean? And now it's changed to where like because of the awareness around mental health and all that other kind of stuff on social media and so on, so people go, oh, hey, I might be suffering from depression. I might have ADHD. I might have whatever it may be, right? Like, and there's not that same stigma where like, oh, I'm not allowed to go look into this.
Yeah.
And I think that's a much larger portion of it than, the lifestyle. I mean, I certainly think that kids being at home and all the time and being in front of a screen certainly plays into an increase in mental health stuff. But I don't. I think the much larger portion is just the fact that like people understand that mental health is actually a thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to even like 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I think what I was trying to say is this also, I think it shapes people as well. Like if you create an environment where we talk about mental health,
Mhm.
that too can make you conscious of it and make you think more about it and potentially sort of open yourself up to it. Whereas if you go back in time to where we didn't talk about it, if you don't open up people to those sort of concepts and self-reflection and stuff, it might like they might not have air quotes mental health issues. Do you see what I mean? It's like a chicken and egg type of thing.
Well, I mean the mental health stuff still absolutely existed.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course, yeah,
I mean, I can give examples from my own family, where, my dad and my grandma very clearly have mental health stuff that they just never got diagnosed because of the social sort of stigma
yeah,
around, anything like that. Oh no, I'm a guy. I couldn't possibly, have depression. I can't talk about depression. I'm et cetera, et cetera. Like it was still there. It just, maybe it's maybe it may, and I'm sure that there are some people who get a diagnosis where it's not actually, I think there are some people who lean into it a little too much to get that diagnosis for ADHD or whatever it may be. But I think those cases are very few and far between. I think it's much more just that people now realize, like, oh, I can actually look into this, and it's actually socially acceptable for me to,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
it's probably like overall, it's probably a really good thing. But I think what might be distorting it is how other landscapes are changing, and like
Hmm.
I think the increased use of social media and phones and electronic devices is like detaching people from having community and connections, and so like
I agree. I
the
mean, I think
rise in like diagnoses and stuff comes along with the language, but then also like maybe that's because there is a genuine rise in this as a problem.
I think there probably is some sort of. I mean, kind of bringing it back to like we were talking about dogs before, right?
Mm,
A huge part of ending up with a well-behaved, well-adjusted, well-tempered dog is socialization when they're a puppy,
yes, how
right?
you raise them.
It's them getting to meet people and explore people. Like the thing is, socialization is not just for dogs; it's for people too. So if you have a kid who never goes outside and never makes friends and never really does anything social outside of being in a classroom, like that's going to cause issues,
Mm.
So I think that's part of it. That is certainly a thing, is that socialization for kids has almost certainly gone down since social media and the prevalence of the internet and
It
et cetera,
definitely
et cetera.
has. It definitely has.
Because you know when we were kids, you probably had a whole bunch of friends when you were young. You'd get on your bike and you'd go over to your friend's
Yep,
house, and then you'd go
out in the
outside and you'd throw a
neighborhoods.
football or whatever, right?
That's what the kids
Um,
did. They used to just come outside and play together outdoors, right?
yeah, all the time. You'd be in the street throwing a baseball back and forth, or you'd go to the park and run around and play tag or like whatever, right? And you'd be hanging out with other people your age and socializing and all that other kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
that has gone down dramatically
Yeah,
since, you know.
I actually walk past the place that's near where I grew up, and it's a place where all of the kids in the area would come and hang out and do stuff in that spot, like every day after school or before it or whatever. I walk past that place all the time, and I've never seen a gang of kids hanging out there. They're all just
Hmm.
indoors. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, when I visit my hometown, I never see kids riding around on bikes and stuff anymore. Like, it just, I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all, but it doesn't happen to the same extent that it did when we were young.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Seems like these days it's going to be more like organized to get them
Yep.
out together, which is
And I think it's made a pretty. It's interesting talking like to my mom, who's been a teacher for. She's actually retiring this year. She's been teaching for
oh
like
wow,
46 years or
dang,
something like
that's
that.
cool.
She's been a teacher. I mean, she's to the point where she is teaching the kids of kids of kids that she taught. Like she's
Wow,
teaching grandchildren at this point.
yeah,
Um, but like she talks all the time about how she notices such a big difference between kids now in first grade versus, you know, 10, 20 years ago. Like it's
yeah.
night and day. Just the way that they behave, the way that parents behave. Like she'll rant for a while about how much worse it is. Like
I totally get it, and you have to. I think you have to live through it a bit to see it, right? Like, it's one of the things that's scary is how fast everything is moving,
mm-hmm.
and it seems to be accelerating. While I think currently there's a bit of a movement. There's that author, what's his name, Jonathan Haidt or something, who's been conjuring up like a lot of support to get phones out of schools and stuff like that. But you know, we're at the age now where we've lived this with this stuff for a few years, and now we're starting to go like, oh, this is like causing a problem. And yeah, kids today are going to grow up and they're going to have even more exposure to it, and then it's going to get faster
Mm-hmm.
as all these technologies and stuff keep accelerating. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, the idea that you would allow your kid unfettered access to the internet, even in high school, you know, maybe as like a junior or senior, sure, but like as a freshman in high school, the idea that you would allow your kid unfettered access to the internet when we were that age was like nuts. People
You
would look
say
at you
that,
like you were insane.
you say that, but like I was given unfettered access to the internet, and when I was a kid, I saw things on the internet that broke my brain. Like,
24/7 though, all the time
um,
in your pocket.
I see what you're getting at. Sorry, I'm
You know what I mean?
misunderstanding. Yeah,
Like I certainly had access to the internet as a kid, and I certainly was able to use it sometimes without supervision, but it wasn't 24/7, 365. You know, I didn't have smartphones weren't really a thing.
yeah.
So it was like,
It was like you had to sit at the computer and use the dial-up, right? When we first got this stuff.
mm-hmm,
And I think we adopted like a second phone line, so there was always internet, and I would spend like quite a bit of time on the computer going on the internet. But then like
mm-hmm.
friends would call and you'd go out and you'd do stuff pretty regularly, so it wasn't like I was locked inside or anything. But I see what you mean. It's like that, but in your pocket. You can just go
Yeah.
anywhere and whip it out.
And
Yeah,
I mean, you know, you've got fifth graders at this point with smartphones.
yeah.
You know,
It's
kids who are 10. It's
where
like,
does this all
and
end though? Like, does society ever get to a point where like people just realize how bad this is and figure out how to throw it away, or do we just keep
who
getting in
who
a worse and
knows?
worse position?
Who knows? I mean, we'll probably find out during the course of our lifetimes.
That's true.
You know?
Getting old's going to be interesting then.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we'll be those old men on our porch. You know, back in my day, we had to use the phone
Oh,
line for internet.
there's the voice. Yeah.
There's the voice. And it made this awful screeching sound.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the two ladies making the dial-up sound?
No, I haven't.
Search monkey dust internet dial-up or something like that. It's a hilarious little clip.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Basically, it's like when you hear that sound, it's just two old ladies at the switchboard, like making those
Mhm.
noises. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how much technology has advanced.
And it's getting
Like
faster. And
like
AI is going to make it go faster still.
can you imagine nowadays pulling up Google and waiting 30 seconds for the page to load?
No, I tell you what. Do you feel any kind of like reflexiveness away from the progress of technology lately? Like
Some of it yes, some of it no. I think it depends on what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like I think there are some things that are good. I think there are some things that not so much.
Yeah,
Like it just depends.
in general, I found myself like when I went traveling, I just couldn't be bothered to take my Steam Deck and play games, or like I feel myself like wanting to get away from the screens.
Mm-hmm.
When I was out earlier having dinner with family, and I had a note on my phone of something I was supposed to do, right? And when I got back, I was like, oh, I didn't do the thing. And then I stopped and I went, that meant that I didn't look at my phone the whole time I was there. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I didn't pull my phone out once, which is like what I'm going for. But it
Mm-hmm.
like I find myself just like being more content with like doing stuff away from the phone, the internet, the computer, the screens, you know? Just like,
Yeah, I mean, I will say I'm definitely a lot happier since giving up social media. Outside of the social media accounts that are specifically for my channel,
yes,
I gave up like Facebook and stuff like that
nice.
years ago, and I am so much happier for it.
Yeah.
Like
I've stopped
that.
watching like drama news videos on YouTube. That's just boosted my energy a lot.
Yep. Yeah. The problem is that like that stuff just becomes such a cesspool of just misinformation and arguments and negativity. Like it just
Yeah.
constant. You know, you got family and relatives posting random stuff, and it's almost always negative or political or what, and it just drains on you after a while. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
It's
like how
it's
many times do you have to see one of your family members attack a bunch of other people
yep.
in some sort of meme that they're reposting
And not just
before
family
you're just
members,
like
like
enough?
if you're on like X or Twitter or whatever, it's like just strangers on the internet bickering.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Every now and then I will because I go on there to post, I will see something on trending, or maybe like I'm waiting for something to happen, I've got a minute or two, and I go look out of curiosity, and it feels like it doesn't
Hmm.
matter what I click on, but immediately you just descend into this cesspool of like unreasonable takes and
I
ridiculous
know.
extreme.
I know.
Yeah,
Because it's all it. I mean, it amplifies the loudest voices,
it does. Yeah, yeah.
and then it amplifies the most extreme views. It feels like, and then people look at those and think that that's the norm.
Yeah, I've read
You know,
I've read like news articles on the BBC
it's
website where like the whole news article is actually based around like one person's tweet, and it's like
right. Like you'll
it's
see
just
you'll
one
see
person.
all the time people make broad generalizations about, all Republicans are this, all Democrats are this,
Oh
all
yeah,
these people that belong to this community are this way. It's like, no, like that's you're you're taking the stuff that you see from the loudest people and applying it to the group as a whole.
yep, yep, yep.
And it's like that's not accurate for the most part. Like none of those large categories, those like groups are a monolith where they're all clones of each other.
Yep.
Like within every single one of those groups, there's going to be differing beliefs and values and all this
Yeah,
other kind
it's
of stuff.
it's kind of the same with like whatever the issue is being talked about as well. Is like online people just seem to get sucked into having this like hot take statement that's like in an extreme
Hmm.
position, and it's pretty much true of like anything. If you start doing research and digging into it and learning about it, like everything becomes really really complicated,
Hmm.
and the world is like a complicated place, and there's lots to learn and know about things, and yet the internet seems to like go for this extreme simplification.
Yeah, yeah, it 100%. And it's like so much of the thing that really bothers me is just the broad lumping of everyone who belongs to some sort of label as
Yeah,
one
I
type
hate
of
that
person.
too. I really
That's
do.
the thing that really grinds my gears more than anything else is this
Same.
idea that like, if you belong to insert name of community, you
Yes.
are this, that, and the
See,
other thing.
that's
And
that's the
there's
kind
no way that it could be anything other than that. You know what I mean?
that's the kind of
Like,
thing that I'll see if I go click on occasion on a thing just to see, oh, is X still as awful as I think it is? Someone will type, all blah 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 are this horrible thing, and it's just
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, shout that out into the world. What's that going to do for us, But hey, that's what people are doing online. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and because that's what gets clicks. That's what fuels engagement. That it is what it is. It drives me insane. But
And
yeah,
that's
much
why we
happier
stay
now
away
that I've
from it,
mostly
right?
Exactly. Much
Yeah.
happier now that I've given up the vast majority of that stuff. I basically only use Twitter now for my YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
I guess Blue Sky as well. Although I
Yeah, I've even
half the time.
at times I've even considered dropping using those, but I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
one day I'll step away from it.
I don't know. I need to do a better job of like remembering that Blue Sky exists. Like
Honestly, like it's really not that different from X. X is
no,
definitely a little uglier, but I just find it's the same thing in reverse. Like if you go onto X and it's like, Y are terrible, then you go on to Twitter and it's like X is terrible. It's just the same takes in reverse is what I find.
yeah, to a degree. I think that there is a lot of kind of very baffling decisions that Twitter has made, like as a platform. Like the whole pay to be verified thing is just ridiculous.
I think
Like,
that's just business, right? Like, they got to make money off of the platform
well,
somehow.
sure. I mean, they've done it for business reasons, and I understand I understand why they did it, but it has essentially ruined the quality of the platform as a whole. You know what I mean? It's this idea. It's like with a lot of video games. You remember do you remember when Battlefront 2 came out?
I remember
The
some
stink
drama
about how
around
bad
that.
the microtransactions were, where like the game was basically unplayable because EA was just trying to milk it for every possible microtransaction dollar they could.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those situations where this pursuit of making money has happened at the detriment of the product.
You see,
To the
with Twitter, I believe it's less making money and it's more like trying to stay afloat because it's not very profitable. They have huge server costs. They don't make a lot of money off of advertising, and
Mhm.
they're trying to build like a business model there to stop it from basically being what was the term for like a sink, a money, what do they call it? Like a faucet.
Mhm.
What's that called?
Just a money sink.
A money
Yeah,
sink? Is it just
a
that?
faucet.
That's
Like
the one.
there's a few different terms you can use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, still, like, if it's not going to be profitable if everybody leaves because it's just a terrible user experience either. You know, like,
True, true. But I
like,
think like do you know the terminology in like online games of a whale?
hmm
Where you like find the one player that gets sucked into your game and spends loads of money on it. I feel like
yep,
Twitter might be like that. Like it just needs to suck in the right crowd of people that can't like are just addicted to the outrage and the rage bait and just keep them there. And
well,
like
but the problem is that with whales, they it, it's this ability for one person to spend literally tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah, it's not quite
Right?
the same, but I
If
guess
you
what I was trying to say is
if you're
just
talking
they
about a
need
whale
to
for like a mobile game, you're talking about they function because of look at like Star Citizen, right? People spend literally tens of thousands of dollars for one ship
yeah.
or whatever. Where you got whales that, but with Twitter, you can't really do that. Like the most you can spend on Twitter, as far as I know, is basically a verified account, which is like $10 a month.
Yeah, I think what I
So
was trying to get at was like, even if your site is ugly, you can it can be ugly if it keeps that core group of people that you need there. So like, they need the people that are going to continuously post and keep other people engaged, and like, it's not great content that they're making.
yeah,
But like, if they can keep them there, so what if like these things are clunky and the verification system is weird, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Twitter used to be a very valuable
it
website in a
used to
lot
be
of ways,
nice.
at least from a consumer perspective. Like the ability to just kind of follow certain, I hesitate to use the word celebrities, but like whether it was reporters or athletes or whatever, stuff that you cared about, right? And just kind of keep tabs on like if you're a big sports fan, you know, you could follow your team, you could follow all the beat writers about that team, maybe some of the specific players in the team, and you could pretty much always be apprised of anything that was going on with the Green Bay Packers or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And like now, it's just. I mean, I
ugly.
browse through my feed and I find it takes me 10 posts to get to someone from a post that I even follow. You know, it's like,
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean,
yeah,
not that I would know entirely because I've kind of given up on it, as I said. But dude, I've been streaming for 3 hours, man. I'm getting a little worn out over here.
fair enough.
I need a computer break.
Probably getting to be about supper time for you, I would imagine.
Oh, I'm done eating for today.
Oh, you already ate?
Yeah,
I
I'm
suppose
like a morning
I suppose
eater.
You probably ate before I logged. Oh, you're a.
Yeah, I like.
Are you a one meal a day type of person?
No, but I kind of I'm more like two and a small breakfast. But I like to like get up and eat and move around and do all the like activity stuff, and then by the time I've had my second meal, then it's like I come to the computer and stream and record or whatever, right?
What about second breakfast?
Oh, if I had the belly for it.
Yeah, I'm like a coffee in the morning when I first wake up, and then I probably don't eat again until like I don't know 8 o'clock at night.
Oh
And
wow,
then I have like one really big meal, and then I'll
interesting.
usually eat like something smaller, snacky ish before I go to bed.
Yeah, but what
You know,
time do you
like
go to bed?
Uh, I was still awake when you sent me this message at 7 in the
See now it sounds more like you wake up, have a coffee, then have breakfast, like
Yeah,
or your
I mean,
one
that's
big meal
pretty-
even.
You're,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. Like I usually wake up at probably like 10 or 11 in the morning,
Yeah,
sometimes noon, and I usually go to bed at like 4.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not uncommon for me to go to bed after the sun is already up.
yeah. I go to bed at like 10:30 these days because of the jet lag, but I need to like try and get back to my like. I was like an hour later than that. I quite liked that before I went on holiday. Like going to bed about midnight, getting up about 8, 9, and then it feels like I catch people a bit more
Yeah,
on
I mean,
here if I'm around a bit later as well.
I've always been a night owl, where I'm up super late and I wake up super late.
I
Like, I've
used to be
never
a
been
night
morning
owl,
person.
but then all of a sudden I seem to just my rhythm changed over the years, I guess. But yeah.
Anyway, man, I will let you call it. It's been
Yeah, I
fun.
got to call it. Pleasure
This
hanging
has
out, man.
been,
I look
This
forward
has
to
been
seeing.
the Xisuma Wells podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Working title. We need a
Yeah.
better name than that, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing the gallery here as well.
Yeah, I'll try to get to it this week
Cool.
sometime.
All right, man.
I will try really hard not to get sucked into other things that distract me. but I
Yeah,
make no promises.
games.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Moria now. See you later, X.
See you, Wells.
I've got orcs and goblins to slay and ore to mine. I'm
Awesome.
gonna be a dwarf and I will dig a hole.
Awesome.
All right. See you, X. Have a good one.
See you, dude. Well, that was very pleasant, wasn't it? And totally unexpected. I started this stream by trying to like lay out a plan for what we are going to do. I got this list of things to do. We haven't placed a single block today. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Not everything is about making progress, and hanging out with friends and chatting is awesome. And I had a great time. And I looked up so many pictures of doggos, and I think I probably won't do this because I know what I'm like, but like it would be pretty cool if I had a thing going where I could just quickly throw a browser up onto the stream. But I'll have to think about how I want to set that up because it would probably mean adding more complexity to the stream setup, which I probably want to avoid. I did while I was chatting with Wells, I did try and like say thanks, but it's so difficult when you're having a chat to read out names. So the last one that I read, I think I know what it is. So X left. Many of these people subscribed like 2 hours ago, so probably none of you are here. But X Left, thank you for the Prime. Kikunai, thank you for 33 months. We've got Jacket Fracket with a gifted sub to Explainably Anomaly. And if you're still there and you've received a gifted sub, you can use it to become a part of our community. We've got a Discord server, we've got a Minecraft server, and any type of subscription, whether gifted or Prime, will give you access. So if that sounds cool to you, you should ask in chat. My people will hook you up with where to go. You can link your Minecraft account, and we'd love you to come by and check out our community. Sir Tilf, thank you for 32 months. Badger Spanner here for 75. We got Stacking Ling here with the Prime. I am the Dog Tour for 34 months. Anonymous gifting a sub to Never 1347. Unlucky Ducky coming in with a tip as well. If you're still there, my dude, thank you so much for the tip. It's appreciated. The Black Ranger PL, a legendary 108 months, which is one more year till 10. Isn't it just 2? No, you're right. It's a whole year. Yeah. Yeah, you're at 9 months. No, 9 years. You're at 9 years, and it's a year away from 10. Dang. Crazy. Thank you for the nice message as well, my dude. And also, what a burger. 67. 6 months. 6 months of support. Amazing, people. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Right. A tip from other streamers, keep a browser only for streaming. Yeah, that's kind of the idea, but then you have to get the streaming program to communicate with that browser, and that browser, I guess you could launch it while you're streaming if you need it, but then you need to make sure that Slobs knows what it's looking for. Something like that. I saw Tango log on. I kind of assumed Tango might be live, but maybe Tango isn't. And is any other Hermit actually live right now? I see. What am I seeing here? Maybe not. I saw Ren said he was going to stream later. I think that's it. I think it's me. I'm the only one live. Yo, Demon Slayer, thank you for the raid. We also had a raid from Kendrastrite as well. Tango doesn't stream on Thursday. Oh, okay. Okay. Well then, I guess I know what I'm doing on my next stream, because I'll just be doing what I was going to do today. I think I'm going to try and stream Saturday morning, but it's all up in the air because I've got some plans for the next few days that'll change and yada yada yada. So Mr. doesn't have a schedule. Will continue not to have a schedule. This makes total sense. Like, why would I have a schedule? You know it's going to change. But, you know, maybe Saturday morning, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. And as for those plans that I had, it won't be Sunday evening, Callie. It definitely won't be Sunday evening. As for those plans I had, we'll have to wait and see. Yo, the music stopped playing a while ago, didn't it? Dang, I turned it down. I think I might turn it down permanently, actually, because it's a common thing that the music seems to be mixed a little loud. I'm actually going to do that, like, right now. I'm going to, yeah, have that permanent. Wait, why is it not letting me do that? Weird. There we go. Right, I've permanently altered that for the next stream. Oh. Right. Well, I guess this is where I throw my carrot. No, this is where I wrap up the stream. Peeps, if you did not know, I make music. It's called Soulside Eclipse. If you've never heard me waffle on about it, be sure to go and check it out. Soulside Eclipse is the name. You can find it on YouTube, Bandcamp, Spotify, Apple Music, all the major streaming platforms. I believe Mr. Rendy Dog will be streaming later today, so if you want to hang around here on Twitch and wait for him, you can do so. Otherwise, let's go just raid a random Minecraft channel that is recommended to me. How about that? Yo, not just any channel, it's Fire Breath Man. Dude, I know Fire Breath Man. Let's go send the raid. Okay, there it goes in chat. Alright, people, have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again soon. Alright, take care. Bye bye.